Hey, welcome back to another episode of Duff's Tavern. I'm joined again by the Poland romper, who's gone around Poland talking about his stories and everything.
Poland Wanker.
Poland Wanker. Absinthe lover, Gupton.
Hello, everybody.
And today we were having a drink called, what's the name of it? I had it on my mind, and then the moment the cameras turned on, it was like, nope, you're not going to remember this.
You gotta pray to God for the answer.
Dirty soda.
Dirty soda?
Dirty soda. This is a Mormon drink from the state of Utah. So I haven't had it. Gupton hasn't had it. So let's find out if it's good or not. It is 8 ounces of Coke. About 2 ounces of coconut cream. And about an ounce of lime juice. Look at the fear on Gupton's face.
I've probably drank worse things.
Probably.
Back in the day.
Back in your heyday.
This is mildly concerning.
I mean, I don't disagree at all. But hey, the Mormons never did anything wrong. Except for bomb each other a few times. And read golden tablets from John Smith.
It's true.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Bombs up. It's not bad.
It's actually kind of good. It's actually kind of good. It kind of tastes like key lime pie.
Yeah. Maybe the Mormons have a point.
Yeah. I might have to make this at home.
Shit, I need to buy my own special underwear. Start soaking.
Oh, man.
So, Gupton, how have things been?
Dude, good. I'm 6 months sober now.
Mm-hmm.
I have a dog.
Yep.
And he's great. He's also a pain in my ass.
That's every dog owner.
I got everything I wanted for Christmas. Also, Merry Christmas, everybody. That's like the first time I think that's ever happened to
Really?
my knowledge. I didn't ask for too terribly much, but
You've been a good boy this year, I guess.
despite the DUI on the way to my first AA meeting, it's pretty fucking hilarious, actually.
I mean, it is ironic as shit, but
That's how it happens.
yeah.
At least for me, anyway.
I'm pretty sure there's a few people that have gotten, like, DUIs on their AA meeting, or they've been at their AA meeting and, like, spiked something.
Spiked the AA meeting?
Yeah.
Like the fruit punch at like a function?
Probably.
Dude,
That's
diabolical.
That is, but it's also human nature. It's like, people would do that.
Yeah, but I don't.
It's the people that are probably required to show up and not, like, go out of their own, like, self-want.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think if you got to be a certain kind of like person to ruin an entire group of people's sobriety.
Yeah.
That's wild.
But it's not, like, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
No, it's
with
not.
people. But
I wonder if that's ever happened, actually.
probably. There's a chance that it has. With enough, like, times it has happened, it's not a zero chance.
Probably right.
Like, it's also the same chance as, like, if you keep hitting a brick wall, you might be able to slip through all the atoms at once. There's a not zero chance that it might happen.
Yeah, but it's like near impossible.
Exactly. But there's not zero.
That'd be wild. What if I just phase through the wall right behind me?
I actually used that for when I was playing D&D with Kyle and them. Because, like, I brought it up. I was like, I want to try to run out the wall and see if this happens. Because, like, my character was currently in jail. Yeah. So Adam was like, you're going to take 20 D20s, and you're going to have to roll 1 through 20 on each of those. And if you get the same number, you have to take that dice away and re-roll it. So I was sitting there for, like, the first, I want to say 3/4 of the D&D session, just rolling 20 D20s, trying to get it in a row. Ugh. And it happened.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, do not challenge a degenerate gambler. I will do that.
That's funny. Yeah, dude, speaking of gambling, stepdad bought me like 10 Mega Millions lottery tickets for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't hit.
I've been looking at the Lucky for Life one.
What would I do with $1 billion?
Get out of the military.
The first thing is buy out my contract. Yes.
Yeah.
The second immediate thing is disappear.
Yeah.
Because somebody will kill you for that money.
Mm-hmm. No, that's why I make the joke with the Lucky for Life lottery thing down there, which you have to match 6 numbers 1 through 48, and if you match all of them, you get $1,000 every day for the rest of your life.
Dude, that's a lot of fucking money.
It is. That's why, like, after you get it, you know a hitman is being hired against you because 100%. It's the rest of your life.
Dude.
Because, like, think about it. In 20 days, I can pay off my student loans. In another 20 days, I can buy whatever fucking car I want.
13 days, I could pay off my car.
Exactly. In
300 days, you pay off a house.
Yeah. And it's like a $2 ticket, I think. The only problem is, I found that out because I have a, like, lottery app on my phone. Because they have, like, things where you can buy lottery tickets through your phone up in, like, certain states.
Yeah.
So they have South Carolina listed, but you cannot buy it in South Carolina because gambling laws. I think it goes under the same people as, like, DraftKings, like, all that.
Yeah, all that's weird, dude. I forget who was playing. It was a basketball game. I put a bet on the money line on, like, 2 basketball games and a football game when I was in Georgia for Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. And it was, like, an 8-leg parlay. And they all hit, and I would have had like $12,000. But you can't sports bet in Georgia.
Yeah.
So I was like, very sad.
When I placed bets on the Mike Tyson fight, I had 4 legs. I had him winning by knockout. I had him winning the first 3 rounds.
Yeah.
And that payout would have been about $1,000 from like a $30 like leg thing.
Hell yeah, dude.
I was so upset. Dude, I fucking hated that fucking fight. I was so pissed off. I'm like, there's no fucking way.
I was in the field for that. I remember I lost 10 pounds over like 2 days.
Jesus.
It was a mess. But I remember like getting to like the final area and finally being able to actually sleep for the first time in 36, 48 hours.
Yeah.
And I like walked up to the Humvee where like a bunch of the guys are. And they're watching the fight. I saw 10 seconds of round 6, and then I was like, fuck this, I'm going to bed.
I tuned in for the first 2 fights, and then when the main event came on, I had to work the next morning, so I just fell asleep, and the first thing I did was check DraftKings when I woke up to see if I got money or not. Nope. I was like, this is bullshit. I don't want to see the highlights. And then I saw the highlight, and it was basically nothing. The best thing that came out of the fight was Mike Tyson's ass.
Love you. Love you too.
Yeah, I didn't even watch highlights. It's rigged, bro.
Probably.
Why does everyone thinks it's gonna be different? Every Jake Paul fight, everyone's like, "Oh, this is gonna be the guy to beat Jake Paul." Like, no, bro. They're not.
What about? I think the next fight's him and McGregor.
McGregor's gonna lose. Jake Paul is going to pay him like a couple mil, and McGregor's going to lose. What does McGregor care? It's a couple $1 million in his pocket just to lose. Okay.
Plus his boxing. He doesn't care about his boxing record.
Yeah, so.
I would love to be a part of, like, influencer boxing, if given the chance to. Like, Creator Clash with iDubbbz and all those people. Like, if I got invited, 100% I would fucking sign up, because it'd be so funny.
You'd probably get knocked out.
I don't give a fuck. It'd be funny as shit. Imagine, like, the free promo for that.
Yeah. Oh, for your podcast and everything?
Podcast, whatever, interact. Yeah.
It'd be an overnight sensation.
I'd
be an industry implant.
I'm a plant. I sold out. I 100% sold out.
Yeah, just like Haley Welch.
Oh my fucking god. Okay, I've said this multiple times. If you bought like a crypto from a celebrity, you're a fucking dumbass, and
100%.
You can suffer whatever consequences come from that.
100%. I don't know, like, dude,
you're dumb if you go for it. Like, just go for the coins that you know.
Why don't you just buy actual stocks?
That too. I do both.
I mean, crypto is
Crypto is more high risk, high reward is what I've seen it. But like, if you buy stocks, in my opinion, just copy like the Senators because they've made like multiple apps to track like how the Senators buy stocks. You can copy it.
Yeah, but the thing is, they all have insider trading on their side, so it's like by the time you get any of that information, you're kind of fucking cooked.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that's not really worth it. It's all about patterns, really.
Yeah.
Find and I like Fortune 500 stocks. Like sorry, S&P 500.
So like the big
They-
ones, like, isn't Nvidia on that or
Yeah, Tesla's one.
yeah, Microsoft, Tesla, Apple, Google,
Yeah,
Starbucks? Question mark.
I don't know. I haven't been in stocks in a while.
I don't know.
Not since I missed out on becoming a billionaire from Dogecoin. All right, billion's an exaggeration. I would have been a multimillionaire for sure, though. Because I bought in at like 4 trillionths of a cent.
Yeah.
And then when I saw the BMW, I had to get it fixed. And it was like $5,000 worth of repairs. And I had, $5,000 up in Dogecoin. 2 weeks later, it hit 69 cents.
That's how the original founder of Dogecoin. He sold all of his to buy a fucking Camry.
Yeah. And I wouldn't, honestly, I'd probably be dead, judging by how my life was like the last 2 years, Probably would be dead.
I mean,
So it's probably a good thing I didn't, come into all that money.
you never know. Could be another like universe where Gupton is a multimillionaire
Dude,
just from Dogecoin.
and he and I switch places.
You be the next Mark Cuban. You have to get like the glasses now.
Oh yeah, that'd be sweet.
Yeah. You've been real active in the fucking server, just talking shit to everyone.
Yeah. Yeah, I haven't been working in the last couple of weeks. Well, I mean, since I've been on leave, but
Yeah.
usually right before leave, it just like slows way down, like nothing's happening. So I was just like always on my phone, and I was always home.
Yeah.
So I was just like not really doing shit, and I was bored. I like to talk shit.
Oh yeah, no, it's funny as shit because
It's funny. Yeah, especially like the new people who I have no idea who they are.
they're from the Charleston Gamers Discord. They're
Yeah.
friends I've met there.
Yeah, that's what you said. But yeah, it's funny.
It's weird seeing like my friend group interact with their friend group because I'm like, I wonder how this will play out because Kyle, Seth, Chase, Campbell, that whole
Yeah.
personality thing mixed with like these new people.
Yeah, they're a bunch of goofballs for sure.
Oh, it's a bunch of degenerates on my server, without a doubt.
Oh, I know. I'm in it.
Yeah.
You're degenerate certified.
I'm the leader of the degens, the barflies, I guess.
Yeah.
It's like the name I think me and Ed came up with for like the people who follow the podcast. It's like barflies and shit.
That's good. I
Yeah.
like that.
So, how has your leave been in Charleston? You've been golfing. What have you been up to?
No, I haven't been golfing. I didn't bring a set of clubs down, but I got one for Christmas. Like my own set. I'm gonna get it like fitted and all that stuff. But I brought down 2 guns and I brought down 2 guitars because I have too much stuff in my apartment. But I'm trying to buy a house soon, sometime next year.
In Tennessee or?
Yeah, in Tennessee. You think I can afford a house here, bro? I don't even know if I could afford a bungalow. With how like the property value has skyrocketed around Charleston.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. But no, it's been good. I saw Ben. I've seen a couple other people. Christmas is always a weird time, and it's because like everyone's usually traveling and out of town, or they're working, and I come back and I have fuck all to do for 2.5, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So sometimes it's just a couple boring days, and I didn't bring like a PlayStation or my laptop or anything, so I'm not playing video games. I'm just like watching movies and taking naps.
Missing out on Marvel Rivals.
I downloaded that game a couple weeks ago, and I just still have not played a single match.
It's so much fun. I've been grinding comp with some people. I started maining Jeff.
I hear it's good, and everything I see is like really good, but it's just like no one ever hits me up to play it, and like the last thing I'm doing is playing a game by myself.
Yeah.
A game like that by myself anyway.
Yeah, no, just tune to the server. Everyone's fucking playing it. Kyle's like level 40 something. Like,
I'm already max level.
fair enough.
Drop like is there like pay to progress?
No.
I'll drop $1,000 right now.
No, there's no. You actually have to earn.
I have all of the rewards. Just, Gup, how'd you get that? You started playing 3 days ago. Don't worry about it.
It is a game from China. You have to earn what you do.
Oh hell yeah, dude.
And then your success is linked to the government's success.
Right on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
No, but it's wild how much it's blown like Overwatch out of the water, or like it's hit like 2 million players in like 2 weeks after it's launched. And
Overwatch is such an old game, though.
it's such an old game that they've shot themselves in the foot so many times about it because they promised like, oh, we're having a campaign, oh, we're doing this, oh, we're doing this. Nope, Overwatch 2 is just reskinned Overwatch 1. That's it.
That's how I felt about Destiny 2. I really stopped playing Destiny 2, though, because they ruined the Warlock in my eyes.
I never played
They
Warlock.
they fucking nerfed the hell out of my fusion grenades, and I was good, dude. I used to, like, in, like, Trials of Osiris, like, I just throw them across the map and kill, like, 1 or 2 people every single round. Because sometimes they'd, like, be bunched up, and when you stick someone with it, it does double damage, so of course it's a one-hit kill.
Yeah.
You know? But, and then you could, self-revive, which I could have lived without, for sure, but it was the fusion grenades, for sure, that, like, really bugged me out.
I always played Hunter when I played Destiny.
Yeah, I liked Warlock a lot.
I never understood Warlock or Titan because, like, I tried playing Titan, but I'm like, this is boring as shit.
Yeah. My fucking leg is falling asleep.
Wake it up.
Trying. That's why I stood up. Yeah, I don't know. I've thought about getting back into it, but also at the same time, it's just like it's kind of late in the game. I'd rather just. I'm sure when Destiny 3 comes out, buy it 6 months late, and then.
If there's I haven't heard anything for like Destiny 3 because they made it a what's the name, live service game. So I think they're just gonna keep running it until there's like 5 players left.
Yeah, that tracks. That checks out.
But speaking of live service, Helldivers 2 hit a fucking resurgence with their new update.
Oh, with like the new enemies?
Yeah.
Dude, I fell off of that game so hard. Like so hard. Like I was like me and like all my friends were like all about Helldivers for like a solid month.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just got tired of killing bugs
Yeah.
and killing robots.
Now you kill
And
squids.
I was like nothing has really changed. And then they added like vehicles and like the mech suit and like XYZ like later on, and I was like, man, this thing isn't even that great,
Mm.
And I was just like, I haven't played it in, I don't know, probably 6 months.
I picked it back up like 2 weeks ago, and it's been fun with the Illuminids and everything. They are fucking hard to fight, and then you have like the zombie creatures of like the humans, the Illuminids have taken over and that shit.
Yeah.
But it's been interesting, and they're a lot harder to fight, and you actually have to be good at the game to fight them.
Yeah.
But you're also in cities and shit, and they give you a car, which is a stratagem. It is interesting. I would say jump back in if you want.
I think I might still have it downloaded. I don't know. I'm playing a lot of Black Ops 6.
Dude, it is such a fucking breath of fresh air from like past Call of Duties.
Yeah. I'm liking Black Ops 6 a lot.
I'm
liking the zombies a lot, too.
I played like 2 rounds of the zombies, and I've just been running Nuketown mostly in multiplayer.
I am not a huge fan of Nuketown anymore. But I'm a excuse me, I am a huge fan of like the face-off mode, where it's just like no kill streaks and it's just a super small fucking map. Because
Yeah.
I'm camo grinding right now. That's why I don't, so it's like just run around the map and get 50 kills a game. At some point you're gonna have those 100 headshots.
I remember back in like Modern Warfare when they had the like mosh pit games where it was a set gun each round and you had like 2 or 3 people. I love those fucking game modes. Like me and Campbell would grind the fuck out of them, where we would actually be good.
Chat, look at this. The cream is like curdling. I don't know if they can see this.
Cream is rising to the top. Yeah,
It's doesn't mix.
that's why you
It
drink
looks dirty, bro. It looks like
dirty soda.
dirty water.
Sorry, I had it imported from Flint, Michigan. My bad.
Oh yeah, there you go. Hey, that's disability.
You get enough from it from the military. Just claim disability when you come out.
Oh, 100%. It's pretty easy to get 100% these days, I feel like.
Yeah.
But I mean, since I plan on retiring,
Can you not claim disability if you retire? Or I don't know how any of that works.
You can claim disability at any time once you get out, but it's like I'm for sure gonna have it because I'm going to retire.
Yeah.
You know, either I like die or get medically discharged before my 20 or 25 years is up, or I somehow make it but I'm completely broken. Yeah.
It's military, man.
Knee replacement at 40 kind of deal. That'd be double knee replacement more like.
I know like a lot of my friends who've retired have like pins, cages, and like everything along their skeletons and shit, where they've just been like physically fucked up.
Yeah, it's hard, man. I'm tired of walking.
So I couldn't do it.
I want to go to Washington State, over to JBLM, Joint Base Lewis McLeod. And because I'm tired of walking, I just want to sit in a striker and chill, get my degree, commission, switch jobs, go like military intelligence or something, get a top secret clearance to go work for like Raytheon when I get out.
Oh God, if you if you go to Raytheon or wherever the other places are, they have like Antarctica bases.
That'd be wild.
Yeah.
I hate the cold though.
I would say if you can bring a +1 to be like, take your friend to work day, I would love to go to a lab in Antarctica just to see how it is. I won't say shit. Trust me, I will not say shit.
You and I probably won't be leaving if that happens.
Let's hope the scientists are hot.
They probably are. They gotta be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or
I don't know. We'll find out if Earth is actually hollow or not.
it's flat. There's a protective bubble around it.
No, it's a donut.
You ever see the one that it's like shaped like a velociraptor?
It's a non-Euclidean shape. It is just a giant ribbon rotating around. You see, the flat Earth guy went to Antarctica and proved himself wrong. He's like, I don't believe this anymore. If you want to believe it, you can, but I don't believe in flat Earth anymore.
Campanella, who runs a popular Flat Earth YouTube show, hoped the $35,000 trip would disprove that. Instead, he saw firsthand that the sun does not set during this time, debunking the theory that Antarctica is just a big ice wall circling the planet.
Like one of the main guys.
It's like the ice wall. It's keeping everything in. You gotta get over the ice wall.
I was just watching a fucking video about flat earthers. Like
Some flat earthers gonna listen to this and be like, "You guys are fucking idiots. You don't know what you're talking about."
they'd come on the podcast. I would love to have a conversation with a flat earther.
Oh man,
We'll definitely get around to the topic.
my old barber, the guy who cut my hair way before the army, he was a flat earther. And just like a crazy conspiracy theorist in general. He was also in a cult, but he cut really good hair. So I kept going back to him. And I would just like feed into his bullshit. Like, he'd say some like wild shit about 9/11. And I'm like, yeah, did you hear about, the conspiracy behind Sandy Hook though? And he would just like go down a rabbit hole. And I'm like, please let this end.
No, start feeding into it.
I started, I don't know what I started, but get me out. Like, finish cutting my hair so I can go.
No, ask him about lizard people. Just deep dive into conspiracy theories so you know a lot about it so you can keep up the conversation.
Yeah, so when I used to work at Taco Boy, when I used to work at, I don't know,
It's haunted.
a bunch of blankets and whatever fell. It was like a string.
Yeah.
But I used to work at Taco Boy. We had this dishwasher.
I knew it was it's always a dishwasher.
And we called him Big Trav, right? He was dumber than a bag of rocks, like.
Mm-hmm.
And one day, I come into work, and he's like, "Yo, Gup, you hear about Kanye West?" I was like, "No. Like, what are you talking about?" And he's like, "Man, he's a lizard. Like, he turned into a lizard on the plane. Like, eyes went all white." I was like, "Trav, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?" And he's like, "Bro, he's a chameleon." And I'm like, "What?" And so I look it up, and it was like one of those fake articles, and I didn't realize what he was talking about, but I had seen that like 2 or 3 years prior to him mentioning it, and it was just I was like, oh my god.
It
But it tracks, you know, and like it makes sense because one day I was cutting tomatoes on the prep line, and he came up behind me and was like, "Man, I ain't know tomatoes got seeds." And I was just like, like what?
wait till he finds out about cucumbers.
I don't even know if he's ever seen a cucumber.
Probably
at this
not.
point. Love him to death though. He was super funny. Good dude.
There's like the neighbor like right across the street, not the one I got my dog from, but the one right next to. I think I was at work at the time, and my parents are sitting out front with my sister, and he like comes over and starts talking about chemtrails and
Oh.
shit.
Oh,
And my sister was telling me later, I'm like, I am so upset that I wasn't here. I would have fed into that so much just to hear him fucking talk. Because I love feeding into like that type of shit.
Yeah.
Just to be like, tell me more. What do you think about this? Hey, let me throw a little sideline in there to make you think about it a little bit more. Because my favorite one to bring up, the joking one to bring up is like, the moon's not real.
it's not.
Yeah, it's not.
It's not real.
Steven Kubrick did an amazing job on that movie.
Yeah, he did. Really did an amazing job on the movie. Yeah, it's just like I said, you know, the Earth is flat. There's a bubble, and you know the military controls this giant weather machine. And on top of that, though, like what you perceive as day and night is just wallpaper that they rotate.
Yeah.
You know.
We are the Truman Show.
In case I don't see ya. Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
We're in the Truman Show. Or South Park's thing of Earth is it's just a giant reality show where they've taken species from different planets and put it on one planet. Oop.
Oh yeah. Did you see? Somebody showed me this just literally like 2 days ago. That like the CIA conducted an experiment in 1984 or something, and on like people, and you were able to like astrally project
Yes.
back to Mars.
Yes.
And
See, I did
like,
wild shit in the 80s.
yeah, and they like astrally projected like to the Earth like millions of years ago, and you know they wasted their planet, and so they had to find somewhere else to live. Like we were giants. Like, dude, I don't know about all that.
I mean, if you go back to like
How much acid did you feed them?
a lot, it's the CIA. Like even like the names of some stuff, like everyone knows about MK Ultra and trying to like control people's minds with a video game. My favorite one is Operation Midnight Climax.
Operation Midnight Climax, which sounds like a really bad movie out of the 80s that you would not have been allowed to watch as a kid. The purpose of which was to test the effectiveness of honeypot techniques in order to get information from men. And in order to test this, the CIA had teams of prostitutes give LSD to men in order to see how they would react to the substances. And then, record the results. The entire time that this was occurring, an agent would be sitting behind a two-way mirror watching essentially everything unfold, both for the sexy time and the trip that would happen after. In the end, the entire thing was just a massive waste of time, money, and resources.
Oh,
Yeah. Whoever named it.
don't take advantage of me, CIA, wherever you are listening to this. I don't want that to happen to me.
Gupton does not want to be honeypotted at all. But like, I don't know. Whoever came up with the name is like, okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take prostitutes. We're going to pay them a whole bunch of money to sleep with men, and then get them tripping on acid.
Yeah, because that could not go horribly wrong.
And
in
we're
any-
going to call it
any-
Midnight Climax.
yeah, but that couldn't go wrong at any point in time before then.
No, not at all. I mean, there's a win-win in every situation. A guy trips and gets a nut off.
Or the prostitute just runs off with the money.
That too. That is also a very probable thing that could happen.
Yeah.
I'm racking my mind for like all the like conspiracy theories and everything. There's one of them that says Gandhi is Jack the Ripper.
No, that's. Oh, wait. No, Ted Cruz is the Zodiac Killer. Never mind.
Because Gandhi was over in England around the same time Jack the Ripper was happening, and when Gandhi left, the killings from Jack the Ripper were gone. So a lot of people would be like, "Oh, he's Jack the Ripper."
It makes sense, dude. Was he like in the same areas? Like,
I don't didn't really look that far into it, to be completely honest. I just saw.
Somebody probably doctored it to look that way, for sure.
Yeah. And then so Hollow Earth is one of them. New World Order is a big one that people are.
Yeah, that's real though.
Is that
Probably. I wouldn't put it past.
your insider military knowledge, Captain?
It's gotta be, dude. It's gotta be.
Would you join
Who
them?
controls the people at the top? You gotta think about that.
Who does?
Beyonce. She's the queen of the Illuminati.
I mean, Jay-Z's going on trial right now.
Really? For what?
Allegedly, at a Diddy party, he an underage girl. So she
It
is.
all goes back to Diddy, dude.
It's either Diddy or Epstein, and we will not find out anything from any of that because half the people are still alive.
Yeah, probably not. It'll be like 50 years.
I don't know if this would get you in trouble, but what's your opinion on military from under the Biden administration, from the Trump administration?
Back to the Trump administration in a couple days.
Yeah.
The military under the Trump administration was way better. And I mean, like, he cares about us. Biden doesn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
You know? And the whole thing, too, is I firmly believe that, you know, Biden, Kamala Harris, like all these, you know, Democrats have their hands deeply rooted in companies like over in Ukraine or, you know, in Israel and like the Middle East and shit. And like that's why they keep funding these fucking wars to keep making money. Dude, I don't want to go back to Europe next year like they're talking about sending us. Like that's the last thing I want to do. Just to what? Sit at a fucking airport, you know, get caught beating off in a porta shitter again by some Ukrainian dude? Like, no. Like that is not on the top of the list of things I want to do. You know, like we have more funding. I get paid more. Like I'm getting a pay increase. I mean, you know, that technically happened under the Biden administration, but all of that started like 5 years ago. You know, like our living conditions have been terrible for ages, and to audit like the entire military and like every installation and all the living quarters and XYZ and like how to get it fixed or, you know, how to make our quality of life better takes a long fucking time.
There's no black mold in any of the barracks or at all. It's just people not being clean.
Yeah, it's just dirt.
Most of my stuff.
Just dirt. And then I have to like, I can't tell you how much like Comet and like bleach and whatever that I've like used on floors that are just like absolutely like destroyed, or how many ceiling tiles they've replaced, you know, in my barracks room from work orders that I put in because it was like moldy, just to like have to do it again a couple months later because there's something fucked up somewhere in the building.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah, I don't know. I'm excited to see what happens in the next couple of years.
I'm curious to see how all this shakes out because
Yeah.
the giant like vote of that everything got fucking flipped. Like all three houses, Republican, presidential, Republican.
Well, the thing too is, under the Biden administration, a lot of Democrats ended up voting for Trump solely because they are small business owners and the economy fucked their businesses so bad. Like the only way to save it is to vote for Donald Trump. So, you know, there's that too.
Yeah.
But everyone like is like, oh well, you know, there's only ever been 91 federal indictments in history, yet and Donald Trump has half of them. But who cares, right? Like he just got caught. They're all dirty.
Yeah.
You know, he just got caught, and they tried to like criminalize him for things that he was allowed to do.
Yeah. They used a legal theory for the trial in New York.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't even proven. It was just like, hey, this is a theory. Let's try it.
Yeah, and then, you know, then you have that whole thing with Hunter Biden, and also the classified documents found in, like, Joe Biden's trunk of his car. You know, like, at least Donald Trump kept him locked up.
Yeah.
But, yeah, like, whatever, you know. That's neither here nor there.
I've also been curious because like you see like a lot of the higher ups in the military. I don't know if this will get you in trouble or anything, but like the one I think it's like Navy officer, the guy that dresses in like a female uniform, if I'm remembering correctly.
Dude, I have no idea. I think I know what you're talking about, but I have no idea.
Here, like, does that affect you at all, or is that because
No.
it's Navy, it's their whole thing?
No, it's a different branch. None of that affects me. None of it affects me anyway.
Yeah, I can't find it. It was like a whole bunch of stuff came out around like the Biden administration. Like Officer Bow Wow was finally.
Oh, the furry?
He's into dog play. It's different.
He has a fursuit.
No, he has a leather dog mask.
Oh. What about the one with the fursuit? You know what I'm talking about?
No,
I think he
there's.
was a colonel, like, in the army. He, like, got out. And
I would
was like-
expect that more Air Force because you see a lot of furries in like IT and that type of stuff.
Dude, I don't know, man. I don't really pay attention to any of that shit because, like I said, I don't really care.
No, no people in the Air Force walking around with tails.
No, I don't. Unfortunately, can't say that I do.
Start wearing a tail.
I'm
blend in.
not a huge furry supporter.
Bold thing to say on the internet, Gupton.
You can edit it out.
I don't. It's a complete fucking joke. Furries are made fun of, but they also. I don't know if you know like a lot of furry lore.
No, and I'm perfectly fine not knowing furry lore.
They just pay for a whole bunch of like internet commissions, so they fund a whole bunch of artists, and they are very flush with cash compared to.
Yes, and I remember coming across like an art page on my Instagram, probably like 2 years ago, and all the dude did was commissions, and it was all like furry art.
Yeah.
And I'm like, bro, who has this kind of money?
They.
Because I commissioned an artist to do a portrait,
Mhm.
and it was $1,000, and it was only $1,000 because I was like a returning customer, right?
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would have been like 15 or more, and I was just like, and like I don't know how you have that much money to just be throwing around for all these commissions.
It is so wild because like I've been watching a lot of like Tom Dark on YouTube. He's a YouTube commentator and that stuff. He does a lot of like deep dives into like degenerate creators or whatever. But he's talked about the furry community a lot, and they spend so much money on fursuits,
Yeah, they're
designs.
expensive.
Oh, insane! They spend a lot of money on like fan fictions of their fursona. They spend a lot of money on art of their fursona. It's fucking wild.
You gotta think too, though, right? Like, what else are they spending money on? They're not going out and like going to concerts, probably.
They're going to cons.
Yeah, that's that's not that expensive.
Eh,
I've actually never been to a con, so I don't know. I think I've been to one, but it was like $20.
I've wanted to go to like a few
don't even know.
cons. I know I'm planning on going to Magic Con down in Atlanta in September, where it's Magic the Gathering, because they usually have it in like Las Vegas, Chicago. They announced one in Atlanta. So I have a buddy outside the area, Campbell, you know him. I have Campbell outside the area where I'm like, hey, I want to come down in September and we can go to this Magic convention because I'm a fucking nerd and I love Magic the Gathering.
Hell yeah. Yeah, no, dude, I don't really do that. I spend all my money on like hockey games, concerts, because I'm right there next to Nashville. Everybody's coming through.
Mhm.
And my dog.
Yeah.
That's it.
The dog is a money sink, like for food and everything, because I have to buy like food for him, green beans for him.
Dude, it's like at least $100 anytime I go to PetSmart or anywhere. It's like, bro, why is that like a stuffed fucking toy that squeaks? Like that's like this big, $20.
Yeah, I don't know how much like yours chews and destroy stuff, but I have to get the
How
like
much?
indestructible, like heavily chew resistant because Fen will just demolish it in like 5 seconds. So it's either that or I get him like I just bought him. I went to Hollywood Feed the other day for more food, and I saw like $5 beef tracheas, which like is a giant like.
Yeah.
I gave it to him, and he just fucking demolished it in 5 seconds.
Yeah, no, he's got all of his teeth now. They're still coming in a little bit, but he's lost all of his puppy teeth. I actually found one.
A puppy tooth?
Yeah, and I took a picture of it. And it was like one of his molars. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, this is cool. And I set it on my nightstand, and then I let him out the next morning, and the first thing he did was eat it. But no, he doesn't chew things up like that bad. Caught him chewing on like the coffee table a little bit, but that's like really it.
Fen, when he was a puppy, he destroyed my ex's heels because she left him at my house, and he was a puppy, and it absolutely like fucking demolished him. So she went off to work, and I immediately like FaceTimed my sister, being like, "What shoes are these?" And like showed her. She's like, "Oh, they're at Target." So I raced to the Target in West Ashley, not there. And the dude looks it up. He's like, "Oh, we have one up in Somerville." So I race up to Somerville, get it, throw away her other shoes, put the new ones in there, and like put the boxes immediately where it is, and not say a fucking word. Then like a year later, when we're living together, I finally tell her the story. She's like, "Yeah, I know. They were a lot smaller than what the heels before were." I'm like, "God damn it."
Damn. All that work
Yeah.
just to be found out immediately.
And then the only, like, Fen hasn't really destroyed a lot of my shit. The only other big thing he did was he chewed the wire to the fan. The fan was off at the time. But,
Oh my god. Oh my god. The amount of phone chargers he's eaten, which is only like 3, but still, that's like $60.
Yeah.
You know? He destroyed a pair of flip-flops, but they were old anyway, so like, whatever. He ate one of the bootlaces on my work boots. Mm-hmm. Just like one of the sides, just like completely like sheared it off, and I was like, bro, I have to go to work in 10 minutes. So I did the next best thing, which was steal a lace from a pair of like old boots that definitely don't fit anymore, or like should not be worn in general. They're just ate up, and put it on, and like it worked for a little bit, but those laces were also kind of ate up because they were at least like a year and a half old and had just seen some shit, so like they just didn't last. I had to get like a whole new pair of boots.
temporary fix.
Yeah.
So what made you finally, like, get a dog?
Oh, this is kind of sad. Indy, my Australian Shepherd, like passed away unexpectedly like a couple months ago. And when my mom is sad, she sends like photos of puppies and like links to breeders. And I've been wanting a dog for a while, so she kept giving me like puppy fever. And as soon as I'd get over it, there'd just be like a new batch of photos and links almost immediately after. And so I was like, what the hell? I'll just take a look. Mm-hmm. And I was actually looking at his sister. And then, so I was like, well, I'm gonna see what other puppies she has, right? And then I saw him, and I like messaged her that same day. It was like a Thursday afternoon. We FaceTimed Friday night, then I left at 3 a.m. Saturday morning to drive to Martinsville, Virginia, and back. All the way back up to Tennessee. Yeah, good time.
I can't knock it.
I don't regret it. And everyone was like, dude, don't get a dog. You don't have enough time. Like you won't be able to give it a good life. This girl that I was talking to was like, nah, get a dog. And then like one of the guys in the meetings was like, yeah, man, do it. Fuck what everyone else says. And I was like, that's all I need.
Yeah.
That's all I need. And I've made it work.
Yeah. I mean, like, dogs are the easiest things to, like, bring around unless you're at work or whatever. But
No, I can bring him to work.
Can you?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I was given a lawful order by my battalion FSO, who's a captain, and my platoon sergeant, who is to bring my dog around for morale purposes.
I was about to say morale support.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a fucking adorable dog. I don't second guess any of that choice.
Yeah.
But I got my dog leg right across the street. I was up at, I want to say Crunch Fitness up in Somerville. And I was with my ex at the time we were working out. Then I get a FaceTime call from my sister being like, hey, our neighbor has puppies. I know you've been wanting a dog, so come down here and see if you want any of these. And he has like a giant breed of labs, just purebred labs. I leave the workout early, come down, and I see all the puppies that came up to me and was like, greeting me, happy, whatever. Fenn's off in the corner, just fucking snoozing like a big fat black lab. Like,
yeah.
I want that one.
Hell yeah.
I take a picture, and he is the sweetest fucking dog ever. Like, no ounce of meanness or anything. Like, he will play, he will jump on you or whatever, but the moment you say, like, ouch or whatever, he immediately backs up and sits.
Yeah, so Arthur's a registered emotional support animal, too. I did that. And I actually brought him to a meeting last night, and, like, this one girl was like, did you check with the church? I'm like, I don't have to do a fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like, legally, like, he is federally protected, like, has rights and shit. Like, he is not considered a pet anymore.
Yeah.
So, and, you know, like, they're like, well, you know, like, what if someone has allergies? I was like, okay, they get the sniffles.
Get over it.
Like, don't pet him. Like, don't come around. Like, you know what I mean? Like, he literally just sat there and, like, snoozed.
Yeah. I mean, if you're allergic to a dog, you just have a weak bloodline. That's just a skill issue at that point.
I don't feel bad for people with pet allergies.
No. It's the same as, like, people with, like, lactose. Like, get over it. People who are lactose intolerant will still drink milk. 9 out of 10 times, people who are allergic to animals will still pet the fucking animal and just be like, all right, well.
Or still own one, yeah. Like,
it's like, I'll just add Benadryl or whatever to my daily regimen.
yeah, it's, you know, whatever, though.
That.
And also, it's, you know, it's none of her business. Like, and then, you know, I brought him inside, and she just, like, got all, like, wide-eyed and was just like, lady, relax. You're not gonna die. Nobody here is going to die because he's laying down on the floor right now.
Yeah. It's like he can give a 2 fucks less about you completely. He is just sitting vibing. Yeah, I've seen the dog on your story so many times.
Oh, yeah, he's an absolute goofball.
Oh, insane.
So funny. So funny.
It is interesting to find, like, personalities with dogs. They each have their individual personality, and it's interesting to, like, figure it out and be like, oh, so this is what I'm dealing with for, like, the next 8 to 12 years.
Well, yeah, he's in his teenager phase, so he's kind of a stubborn prick right now. He's really good at listening, and he is actually, like, super chill for being an Australian Shepherd.
Yeah.
But when he gets, like, overly excited, oh, no, he won't sit, he won't fucking nothing.
The moment Fenn gets excited, like, a person comes in, he is wagging his tail, he's immediately green. You know, you've seen him multiple times. And then, like, once everyone, like, calms down, everyone's just hanging out, there, laying completely fine, not giving a fuck. It's just, like, the initial, like, burst of it is just like, oh, shit. Just, like, whenever I'd host D&D or have, like, people in my old apartment come do the podcast, I would always have to give him, like, CBD chews to, like, calm him down. Because if he's, like, right outside the door and he hears people talking, he wants to join in, and he will bark and, like, make noise and just want to come join, which is, I hate that he has to stay out there. So I'm planning, hopefully, if I get the planning right, for my next apartment, when I make the studio, I'll make it, like, dog safe.
Yeah.
Where, like, he can come run around and do whatever during the podcast, and I won't have to worry about him fucking anything up.
That'll be interesting. I wonder how you're gonna do that.
Just hide the wires or anything he can knock over. It basically, I don't have, like, a little 4x4 area. I'd have, like, in my ideal imagination, like, a room in an apartment. So I can easily, like, hide wires, put things up, make it easy for him to be fine.
Yeah.
So that's what I hope. I have, like, 2 years until I move. I'm still debating if I want to go to, like, Georgia or Tennessee. Like, it really depends on the job opportunity. Or if I go to Chattanooga, I don't really have any friends there, so I'd have to completely restart it. But if I go to Georgia, I have at least 2 friends there.
Yeah. Chattanooga is pretty alright. The aquarium there is super fucking sick, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I still need to go visit.
Their ocean exhibit is, like, whatever, but their river exhibit, bro, it took me, like, 2 hours to get through. Just, like, and you know, if you do it the smart way, you start at the top and you work your way down. People will just, like, start at the bottom and go up, and it's like, well, now you have all these like stairs and shit to like go back down again. Like, no, that sucks. It is insane. I mean, there's the biggest fish I've ever seen in my entire life, like in this place.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
I think over the summer I might plan a trip out there, maybe.
It's cool.
It's
There's,
like-
there's some good food downtown too.
Yeah, I've heard. Campbell and Cameron have told me about it because they're like 2 hours from Chattanooga and have gone up for job stuff.
Yeah.
So I might plan a trip where I rent a car, go pick them up, head up there for a week, and then because if I drive to Chattanooga, it sends me through Atlanta anyway and straight up.
Yeah.
Instead of like going through North Carolina across Tennessee, just I guess.
Because I-40 is still closed in North Carolina from the hurricane, so the best way to get to Chattanooga from here is definitely through Georgia because it's right there.
Yeah.
But if I had to get to Tennessee, I would rather go through North Carolina. Because driving through Georgia fucking sucks.
Yeah.
It is the worst. And it's especially bad right now because everybody has to drive through Georgia. To get here from Tennessee, you have to go through Georgia. And it's the worst.
When I drove through Atlanta, the traffic wasn't bad, but I think I got it at like a good time.
No, every time I hit Atlanta, no matter what, like the traffic is just horrendous. Absolutely terrible. Takes me like an hour.
Jeez, yeah, no, I was straight through. Like I was on the main interstate all the way through Atlanta, and I just got off fine. I didn't really stop.
It took me an hour to hit an exit that was 5 miles away, just to hop back on the opposite side of the interstate and fly here. Like there was nobody coming up to Charleston. But like getting like to that point, no. And I'm convinced that the only people in Georgia that know how to drive is Georgia State Patrol.
Probably, dude. Like the drivers down here are so fucking bad.
Well, yeah, it's because they're all fucking tourists and they don't know what the hell they're doing. Or they've moved here and they still don't know what the fuck they're doing.
I was about to say, like, it's not just the tourists.
Like, nobody's local anymore. Everybody has left. We've been pushed out.
Yeah. Or like the local people you don't really see because they have moved from like the Charleston area to like Somerville,
Yeah.
Walterboro. Like they moved to like the outskirts of the towns. While you see like a whole influx of like people are like, oh my god, I'm like in Charleston. You know where I want to live? Downtown or Mount Pleasant.
Yeah, get the fuck out of here. You're, no offense, if you want to live downtown, you're dumb.
Even like James Island has changed so fucking much.
Yeah, it's not. You can't. It's unrecognizable. But, bro, who wants to live in an area of Charleston where no matter what level of rain you get, you're in like knee-high storm water because it's below sea level? Like, wanting to live downtown is absolutely bonkers.
Downtown wouldn't be bad if they didn't destroy half of the marsh and drain off, which like half of the island is like
Yeah.
the earth naturally makes stuff so like the water moves to the lowest point or whatever, and they destroyed like the marsh area and destroyed that for infrastructure for building roads and shit, and because of that, that's why downtown floods a lot more now because there's no runoff or anywhere for the water to just.
Yeah. I don't know. And then also, like, all the local restaurants are fucking closing, too.
Yeah.
Like La Norteña, dude, that was my favorite Mexican spot.
Dude,
It was so good.
Mama Kim's shut down.
I have no idea, bro. I stay away from downtown.
I've heard mixed things because if I go downtown, I usually park like right by under the overpass by Rec Room and Shuggies,
Yeah,
or
but you could drive right by it. It is right there. You just make that right on King. It is like 4 stores down, or was. It is right there.
I mean, you can park at the hotel there and then walk down.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
like I don't really want to pay for parking because like the only 2 spots I pay for parking is that hotel is if I'm doing stuff in that area or down on East Bay by the Brick. I park there. If I'm going to, is it either the Music Farm or no, it's not the Pack.
The music hall?
Yes, that's it. But there has been a lot more like big talent stuff coming in town lately.
I feel like I saw.
Flog and Molly's coming into town in February. Yeah, February. Dropkick Murphys is coming into town March. Creed is coming into town.
That's who it was.
Creed?
It was Creed.
Dude, it is $97 a ticket at Credit One Stadium, and I want to buy it just because it's a fucking Creed concert, but it's also like $97 for the nosebleeds.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
That's not really worth it.
no. If I was like in the pit or like down on the bottom
look,
level.
I'm not gonna say shit about spending a lot of money for pit tickets because I spent $800 to be in the pit for the Rolling Stones concert.
But that's also Rolling Stones.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
I don't know if Creed is really pit worthy. I guess it's all up to the individual, but
Creed is more of a good band, but a good meme band. Like Creed their songs have been memed for the internet, where people are just like, I like it because I've heard a lot of it and it sounds pretty good. In my opinion.
Nickelback is kind of the same way.
Yeah.
Nickelback has always been made fun of, though.
They've been made fun of, but they've also rolled with it enough where like people who've listened to music be like, yeah, I actually like Nickelback, but they also take the piss out of themselves.
Yeah.
And make fun of it. And then there's a lot more comedians coming into town now because of the comedy store that came up. So we're getting like Luis Gomez from Legion of Skanks came down. Sean Patton came down. I know Grace O'Malley from Barstool is coming down for like 6 shows. It's wild. Like I see like this stuff at Wits End, and I hate that now shit is coming in where I wished in high school or like early 20s when it was like the time where I had a lot more free time and could do shit. Be like, oh, I want to go to this concert. Here's a band that's coming in that I like. Nope. When I'm busy is when everyone decides to fucking come in.
Yeah, it's AC/DC is going to be in Nashville.
They're still around.
With the Pretty Reckless. In May, but I'm not going to be there. I'm going to be in fucking Louisiana again. Be a bad time.
What are you going to Louisiana for?
Just training, dude.
Oh.
It fucking sucks. Louisiana sucks.
Why?
It does. Louisiana sucks. It is too hot. It's fucking... There's swamps everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I've not had a decent experience in Louisiana.
I haven't been there. I was supposed to go to New Orleans for a rugby trip. And
That's all they have.
New Orleans?
That's it. That's all they have. And then even then, it's like, I could do without this. Yeah, cool. I was here once.
Yeah. Not a fan of Bourbon Street. Oh, you came...
Yeah, and actually, I'm a huge fan.
I forget when I'm talking.
Actually, I'm a huge fan. I'm such a big fan that I'm not allowed to be near it.
The fucking look on your face. It's just like this fucking idiot.
People forget all the time. It's fine. Like, I really don't care. I go to bars all the time. I just
Yeah.
like do karaoke and shit.
I know. I see you performing all the time.
Yeah, so like people will be like, bro, don't go to the bar. Like it's too much temptation. I'm like, motherfucker, I'm an adult. I'm gonna go get a Red Bull and I'm gonna do a song. Like, now I get where they're coming from, right? Like, and I've seen it, but like not everyone can do that.
Yeah.
And a lot of people live in fear of places that like serve alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you know what they say, like you keep going to the barbershop, like eventually you're gonna get cut, right? Like, but
It's also like discipline.
alcohol is everywhere, and there's a lot of things that have to happen in between me and drinking, and 2 of those things I have absolute control of, and that is picking that drink up and drinking it.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'll be okay.
Yeah. I remember like the old John Mulaney bit when he stopped like drinking alcohol and he would go to like friends' parties and they're like,
I'll show up at a party and they'll be like, hey, everybody, all right, we got Coronas in the fridge, and oh, hey, Mulaney, would you like an old turnip that we found in a cabinet? Would that be good for you? Would you like that? I know you don't drink. Or my girlfriend left a Nuva ring in the fridge. Would you want that? Would that be good for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'll bring my own water, dude. I forgot it. Usually have it in the car, but yeah, I mean, you know what? I do get invited to less things, and that's okay. I don't need to be the openly tired guy at whatever fucking happy hour party somebody is throwing.
Yeah. I've been more social this month than I have for like the past couple years.
Yeah.
And I've been going like with like the Discord I joined. They've been doing like meetups. I've been making friends in there, hanging
Charleston
out.
one?
Yeah, the Charleston Gamers one. And they've just been doing meetups, hangouts. David at Reforged, he owns a gaming bar where like you have a whole bunch of pods of computers, some consoles on the walls.
It's cool.
He has like a bar and everything there. It's a really cool space, and it's like $20 to go in, and you can use whatever systems they have. They have board games set up. They have like retro consoles on the wall, so there's like an SNES, a Genesis, an N64. It's an amazing spot he made like up in North Charleston area. Like,
Dude, that's pretty cool, actually.
dude, it's a pretty badass, and he has it set up. And I was talking to him while he was on here about like how he wants to expand and like what he wants to do. Yeah.
There's like this arcade bar in Nashville that I really want to go to. It's just like a fuck ton of arcade games.
They have that here up in Park Circle. They have Pinky and Clyde's, which is like a whole bunch of retro arcades.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you also have the Break, which is like pinball.
Mm-hmm.
But I was there the other day, and I feel like there was less machines. Somebody asked me which one was my favorite to play, and because the owner like rents them out. Like Woody's like rents, their pinball machine from like the owner of the Break, because he just has so many of them.
Yeah, Shuggies had I think it was like Metallica.
The Metallica one is good.
Yeah, they had the Metallica one. Then it swapped the last time I was at Shuggies. The one I played at Pinky and Clyde's a lot is the Foo Fighters one.
The Foo Fighters one is also good.
Yeah. Then if you go down to Savannah, Gray Face Museum has like a whole room of like just straight pinball machines.
Hell yeah. Another good one is the Kiss one. Not like a terribly huge fan of Kiss, but it is a fun pinball game.
My first music album was Kiss. The first album I ever bought was Destroyer.
It's a good album. Man, what was the first album I ever bought? I couldn't even tell you.
I want to say The Who for you.
No, it wasn't the Who. My dad is a bigger Who fan than I am.
Really?
Yeah. Unpopular opinion, the Beatles are trash.
I highly hate that statement.
That's okay. That's why I said unpopular opinion.
I
You're allowed to hate that statement. So is everybody who is going to hear this in like 2 weeks. They're allowed to hate that statement too.
Yes and no. With like being a Beatles fan, they like every music. They have like good and bad albums. I think the moment that this is really gonna, you say a divisive statement. I'm also gonna say one. The moment Yoko Ono joined was fucking terrible. She ruined John Lennon. She ruined the Beatles because John Lennon was such a pushover that he allowed her in everything, and she's just a talentless fucking banshee, and ruined all the stuff that they could have done.
I'll agree with that statement because I hear nothing good about Yoko Ono.
Oh my god, like the videos of her singing, she's just fucking wailing to the point. It is just like, shut the fuck off.
I just think that the Beatles are a little beachy.
I don't doubt that. Mostly their Abbey Road albums when they were doing a lot of experimental shit.
And I don't like that. Like, yeah, Eleanor Rigby's like a good song. It's a staple. Everybody fucking loves it. But I also hate that song at the same time.
Strawberry Fields Forever, good one.
Yeah.
Like the Beatles' one album is like really like some of their better songs.
One was good. Yeah, some of their better songs. Like what, 8 Days a Week I think is on that album. That's a good little one.
8 Days a Week, When I'm 64, Hard Day's Night. I had the Sgt. Pepper album, which was really good, along with the Yellow Submarine movie was really fucking interesting to watch.
Yeah, but like, I'm a huge like Rolling Stones fan. Like I love the Who. I like the in your face, kind of raunchy, kind of like, fucking rock, dude. That's what I like.
Yeah, the old like classic rock type stuff, which is now ancient rock because Green Day is now considered classic rock.
Oh, get out of here, dude. No,
I'm not the one that makes rules.
They were punk, and now they're not even punk. They haven't been punk for like 15 years.
No, they were anti-establishment until the establishment became that. Then they still say the same thing as like,
They sold.
yeah,
They're sellouts.
yeah. A lot of them do. Like,
I mean, I get it, but at the
My-
same time.
my favorite one is Rage Against the Machines when they were playing for BBC. They're like, you can play for us, but you can't curse at all. But we want you to play, what's their, I forget the name. It's like, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. So they were slowly building up to that, and then they dropped like, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. I'm like, that's perfect.
I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you tell me. Fuck you, I won't do what you
Get rid of it. Sorry, we needed to get rid of that because that suddenly turned into something we were not. We were expecting it and asked them not to do it, and they did it anyway.
Like, what do you expect? It's Rage Against the Machines. You think they're going to listen to you?
Yeah.
No.
Exactly like Roku is like, oh, this is going to be perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no, dude. I mean, I like real punk, you know? Like, shit like the Misfits, the Distillers, the Spinnerets, you know, Bad Religion, shit like that.
I am drawing a blank for the fucking music. I've been on a giant, like, folk kick, like punk folk type thing.
Like Frank Turner?
Bridge City Sinners is, like, the one I've been listening to. I also started a new playlist on Spotify called Deny, Defend a Playlist. And it is all just revolutionary songs.
Dude, who is it? Anti-Flag?
I've heard of them.
They're actually pretty good, dude.
Rare Americans has been coming up. They're pretty good.
Yeah. You definitely know some Anti-Flag songs.
Yeah.
For sure you do.
For the amount of music I listen to, yeah. I've heard a lot of music. I just be like, oh yeah, I heard this. I just don't know the name for like half of the bands. Trying to think. I had like a few questions I wanted to ask you. Did you have to go help out with a hurricane when that happened?
No, I wanted to, though. I wish they would have sent us, because it gives the men purpose. You know, like the whole thing about peacetime army in a combat MOS, we have no purpose, and our life is just miserable. And, you know, like, it would have given some of the guys meaning to their service, where it currently lacks that aspect, in my opinion. And yeah, like, you know, the military is everything that you make it to be, but, you know, I joined to do a specific task, and I only train for that task, and I never get to go do it. Which, you know, is not necessarily something I want, because war is fucking insane, you know, like, but it's what I did sign up to do.
Yeah.
But I was also a little bit younger, a little bit dumber, and I'm kind of over that.
I mean, you sign up to do something if you're just sitting around and waiting, like sitting on your hands for years. Like,
You know, they sent us to Europe. They didn't send us to the Middle East.
yeah.
You know, like, what the fuck? An infantry company, like, doing logistics shit? Bro.
But there's no
An infantry battalion doing logistics shit. Like, come on.
But there's no
There's the Army has logistical jobs. Like, send them.
There's no military in any active war zones, apparently. Do you remember?
That is a huge reason why she did not win. Huge reason why
Did
she
you
did
see
not
that
win.
video of like when she said that? Everyone was like, "What the fuck are we then?"
There is not one member of the United States military who is in active duty in a combat zone in any war zone around the world. The first time this
Wait, what?
But let's understand.
So where the fuck are we right now?
Yeah, the dudes in Iraq. Yeah. And like in Syria. And she's like, and then I'm like, all right, so you forgot about the 13 Marines at Abbey Gate, you know, like the, you know, guys who died in fucking Syria, you know, in Lebanon, like, and then also the handful of people like in Iraq currently, where, by the way, like my aviation brigade is currently deploying to a couple of those places I mentioned. And like, how can I respect that? How can I vote for that?
Yeah.
You know, I can't.
I was gonna say, like, in high school, you were more liberal than.
I'd say Democrat.
Yeah.
I would not say liberal. I mean, I still have, you know, left views and I still have right views. I'd say I'm more in the middle, but at the end of the day, I'm going to vote for my paycheck and what is best for me, and that's what everyone should do.
Yeah.
And I did not get a chance to vote in this election because I was in the field and I couldn't sign up for absentee right away or like take a trip down here.
Yeah.
So I did not get a chance to vote.
Yeah, just I was trying to think, like, not to like pin you down to like whatever you believe in, but just like hearing you talk from like what I remember in high school. I'm like, I didn't know if there was.
Yeah, but also that at the same time, like when you're 18, 17, 18 years old, you're not really thinking for yourself. You're still kind of like
Parroting what you hear.
Parroting like your parents and like stuff like that. So,
because I know like my thoughts from high school are completely way different than my thoughts now.
My thoughts today are different from my thoughts 6 months ago. You know, like it's an interesting, unique thing, and everyone is, allowed to believe in what you believe, and I'm not going to knock anybody for that because I believe that we can disagree and still be friends, like have constructive, conversations. I believe that, women should have like the right to an abortion, shit like that. I also believe it should not be a political issue. And at the end of the day, like, I don't care, so like that is not something that I should care about.
Yeah.
Like, like not, or I said not that I should not care about it, but like, I shouldn't have a say.
Yeah.
Is what I mean.
I feel like it should be like if you're in a healthy relationship, it should be a conversation at least.
To a degree, I shouldn't have a say. Like, it should not be like solely dependent on like what I like. No, that's not happening, or like yes, that's not happening. It's like like you said, like a conversation. Like, hey, I think we should, excavate this for my pussy, XYZ, right? Or
such a fucking visceral way to say it. Just take the backhoe like right up to it. They're just sitting there like that.
Hey, I think we shouldn't keep this, for these reasons, or like, I think we should keep this for these reasons, or like, hey, I agree, like, let's get rid of it, or like, like that's how it should be. Not one person should have all of the power, and if like at the end of the day, it's still like, and you know what? I do believe that abortions, like being available, like widely available, is part of the reason why people are having a lot of unprotected sex and stuff, because you have a way out, right? Like, plan B, abortions, XYZ. You're like, oh, well, if I just end up getting her pregnant on accident, we can, for like, what, I don't know, like the first week or whatever, you buy a pill and she can have that, and then, it kills the baby, or like, sometimes there has to be like whole ass surgeries, but
it's also,
if it'll be interesting, like if you think about it, like if it just didn't exist, like abortions just like weren't a thing, people would be a lot more careful, and you each have a part to play. In a pregnancy, right? Like, I nutted in you or whatever, but also you have a part in that, right? Like, we didn't have to, you could have been like, hey, no, like, wear a condom, or like, we're not having sex, right? Like, or, like, you each have an equal part to play in that, and it's like you each share the blame equally.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I think it should be accessible for sure.
It goes into, I think it's been taken over more politically because of the like
church and state issue.
Yeah,
that's really what it is.
Yeah, and also no one can have like a normal conversation about anything. It's such a divisive topic where you force people to be on the complete farther side of it just because of the art. Like, no one can be like, hey, I believe this, or like, I like Bill Burr's quote the best. It's like, yeah, it's killing someone, but also killing a person, but it also might be your only option. It's like,
yeah,
if you are baking a cake and someone slaps it out of your hand, it's not like, hey, you ruined the ingredients to a cake. It's like, no, you fucked up my cake.
Yeah,
like that. Like, I love Bill Burr's take on a good bit of things just because he makes sense, and he is, I wouldn't say like he's the everyman opinion, but he also can say stuff without a filter, and it reaches it makes it more where you can digest it instead of like these big words that everyone else uses or whatever. He's like, nah, he's a fucking guy from Boston. He's like, yeah, it's a fucking destroyed cake. It's not ingredients, it's a cake.
Yeah.
Even his like opinion on the whole Luigi Mangione thing recently.
I hope and I pray for a jury nullification.
Dude,
because at the same time, yes, murder is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But how many lives did that guy end?
Yeah. That's been my thought for is like that's been like the consensus.
How many lives did this dude? How many sons, mothers, daughters, brothers, aunts, uncles, all that did he end prematurely because he wanted to, not shell out the fucking money for a life-saving treatment?
I don't understand that about insurance. Like, you're paying into something. You should be able to benefit from what you're paying into. Not be like, hey, I'm paying into this. They can deny me whatever, but I'm forced to still pay into this. But it also just comes down to like a whole greed thing between like healthcare, private practice, insurance stuff, where like it is fucked over most of the people.
It is a fucked up world, but it is such a good thing. Because then you take a look at Canada, where healthcare is, excuse me, wildly available, and you have people waiting on wait lists for up to 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you break your arm, you're fucking cooked, dude. They travel like to America and shit, like, to be able to get healthcare. Like, that's not okay.
Mm-hmm.
So there's flaws in every system, and while yes, our system is not perfect and it is expensive, I'd say, in my many unpopular opinions, it is a better choice.
Lesser of two evils, depending on like what it is. If you need like more of a like surgery to save your life, you'd rather have like immediate, like, I need this immediately. But the 6 month waiting period is fucking wild. Like, if you're there, you can do a lot of things. Like, if you have like a sprain or whatever, you can self-remedy that at home a good bit. But I don't know if I'm talking out my ass for this.
Well, you got all right. So now let's think smaller on that, though.
Mm-hmm.
You get a simple infection, and you can't get a doctor's appointment to get prescribed antibiotics, and then you lose a fucking foot, or like a hand or something because you can't quite treat it right. Like it's like things like that too. Mm-hmm. That is obviously from like the smallest to like the biggest, like extreme. But
I mean,
if you think about it too, because diabetics, like especially with their hands and feet. I just watched an episode of Grey's Anatomy, and that's I just saw this dude like had issues with his foot, and he waited a month, and then he had to have his foot amputated in the show, and that is real. That happens a lot with diabetics. So it's like if you think about things like that too, it's like that could have been prevented.
Makes me like not like capitalism, but at the same point, like if any other capitalism is the only thing that, in my opinion, could work, because I hate that it becomes bad off of the greed of people, but it could work when it's used correctly, of like the market of equal exchange of like, hey, I have a product that I'm selling for this, hey, another person has the same product, he's selling for lower, that competition, instead of being like, yeah, we're let me give an example for like the housing thing. It's like a lot of the big corporate like housing people would use an algorithm to keep the prices relatively the same to fuck people out of money. Like, there's no reason why the average rent in the U.S. should be $2,000 fucking dollars. While
that is my paycheck.
Yeah, that if it is my paycheck, I only have, I want to say, 600 extra to play around with, not counting like electricity, Wi-Fi bills, car payments, and that shit. Like, there's no reason why that should be that expensive, because some corporation comes in, buys up all the cheap fucking housing, doesn't allow any of the people our age to live the American dream, which I've said is more of on a IV line than like dead, in my opinion. It could be good. We're not at the falling point.
It's not dead yet, but it is struggling. It is struggling.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of people blame like corporations and blame like the boomer generation because they're holding on to their wealth and staying in the jobs and staying in the places that people of younger generations need to go up to hit those life steps. Like
it will balance itself out eventually. It's just a matter of when. Like, these people aren't gonna live forever.
Yeah.
But at the same time, motherfuckers be living a long time.
They're gonna hold on to it as long as they possibly can.
And I mean, I would too. You know, if I bought a house that is now worth almost $1 million for fucking 32 nickels back in the day,
yeah,
I'd sit there, I'd hold on to that. I'd hold my job that pays me 6 figures a year too. Like, where I'm just not really doing much.
Yeah. I don't.
Do I need it? No.
Probably not. Care for another
Would I?
soda?
Maybe. Yeah, I gotta empty out the rest of this garbage though.
I mean, if you just mix it in, it will eventually.
You're probably right.
Level itself out.
It's just watered down.
Yeah.
But yeah, so.
I didn't expect to be that good.
I don't really tend to talk like politics too much, just because, you know.
It can be divisive depending on who you talk to.
And I don't like that. I'm all about having like a constructive, hey, this is what I believe and why, and like then and vice versa, and maybe come to a middle ground.
I like.
But there's no understanding anymore.
No, I like being told I'm wrong and be like, hey, you're wrong. Here's why I think you're wrong from my perspective, and it just makes such a better dialogue than you're a fucking idiot because you have those beliefs, and I'm not going to tell you why they're wrong.
Because I don't know why they're wrong.
Yeah.
But it just makes me upset. So, you know, like that's how it is now. And dude, social media has such a big part to play in that because all they do is spoon feed us misinformation and these misleading headlines, and a lot of fucking people will just read the headlines and like move on. Like, they don't dive into the article, and even less people research the other side.
Yeah. No, I've gotten. Ooh, that is close. I've gotten this thing called Ground News, which specifically does that. It's like a news thing that aggregates a whole bunch of other articles and shit that comes out and says like, hey, most of this side is reporting on this, or like most of like centrist things are reporting on this, and here's like a article that's like a blind side to like the other side.
Yeah.
It's interesting, and
like nobody knows about like things like that.
Yeah.
So it's.
I also like trying to stay informed and knowing what I'm talking about, just to be like, oh, I know about this, or I like knowing what's going on, which is a fucking full-time job at this point.
Yeah, like the whole divide. Oh, the censorship thing that I was going to touch on, the censorship with like Donald Trump coming into office and launching investigations into all these, you know, news stations and, you know, these colleges and stuff, and pulling federal funding from them if they've been found to be colluding in censorship. That is the right fucking answer. Like, I don't, in my opinion, like, I don't care what anybody else thinks. Like, that is the right answer. Like, the amount of information being withheld and spun to, information will always be spun to push, you know, your own, like, their own narrative and agenda.
Yeah.
But it's the same stuff all the time being, like, shoved down my throat, and I am fucking sick of it. I am so sick of it. I'm very curious to see what happens in these next few years. And, you know, Donald Trump as president, this presidency is just to set J.D. Vance up for the next Republican candidate.
I feel like it'd be JD or Vivek. You would see running, or I mean, you'd see.
I like J.D. Vance a lot, and he is a great speaker. And you know who the last politician that we had as president who was a great speaker?
Clinton.
Obama.
Yeah.
And that motherfucker put people in cages.
Yeah.
And everyone seems to forget about that, by the way. He literally put people in cages.
Yeah.
But what do I know? Yeah.
No, they're camps.
They were cages.
I
know. You know, and it also, like, understanding too that America is not just a country or a political mess, but it is also a business, is huge.
It's also one of the biggest social experiments that has been going on for like 300 years.
But and you know what? Like, what one thing that Donald Trump did that was absolutely groundbreaking, despite what everyone may think about him, he stepped foot in North Korea, shook hands with Kim Jong-un, and, essentially, like, made peace with him for a short time. Same thing with, Putin.
Mm-hmm.
That was never going to happen with Kamala Harris.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm sorry to say, but, like, a woman as a president is not necessarily the best idea because other countries around the world do not view women the same that we do.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel like it depends on the woman. Like, I
agree.
I'm a big fan of
I said
Tulsi.
it's not necessarily the best idea. I didn't say it's a bad idea.
Yeah, no. I'm a big fan of, like, Tulsi Gabbard, and I've been following her for a while. I first heard her on Joe Rogan, liked how she articulated stuff, liked how she explained her viewpoints or whatever. The biggest thing I liked is how she was more willing to work with the other side to push issues and make a, like, hey, you want to lower this, I want to lower this, let's come together and figure it out.
Which is what we need. Like, there's such a divide in this country, and it is disgusting. Like,
I mean, it's a lot of the, like, senators just wanting, like, the argue point for a certain issue, or, like, when the cameras are on, they want to get the, like, 5-second sound clip of them being like, yeah, look, I destroyed this person by arguing with this, and it's all showmanship.
Some of those clips are pretty good, though.
Yeah, it is all showmanship. Like, there's a lot of new senators and House of Representatives that have just been like, hey, this is what's going on behind the scenes. What you see is not actually what's going on. They're all fucking fake.
And it's coming around, like, and you can see it starting to come around with, like, the legislation that's, coming out and the issues that are being brought to, like, the Supreme Court and, like, stuff like that. Like, it is all starting to, essentially kind of do like a 180. Like, people are being phased out and things are starting to change, however small it is. This is not like a wake up the next day and all the problems are fixed kind of deal. Like, it's going to take decades.
It's going to take bit by bit.
It's going to take decades.
It's easier to repair. It takes longer to repair something than it is to destroy it.
Oh, I know that. I know that.
Yeah.
That's an AA thing, but I know that.
But that's also true. Like, it...
Yeah. I mean, for, like, the last 2 years, all I did was run around burning everything down around me. And, one of the steps in AA is to, take, like, a deep moral inventory of yourself. Fearless moral inventory. And then the next step after that is to tell somebody about it. And then a couple steps later, you are supposed to make a list of... Step 8, you're supposed to make a list of the people that you've harmed. Not necessarily with, like, just your drinking, but it is mainly your drinking. People of your harmed and, like, become willing to make amends with them. And then step 9 is making amends to those people. Dude, yeah, no, I've been told to go fuck myself. Like, I have not changed, XYZ. And you know what? That's fair. Because I had not been sober a day in my life. No. Except for when I was, like, a kid, right? And I, didn't have access to these things. For the last 10 years, all I did was abuse drugs and alcohol. So, yeah, like, no, who am I to expect of you to trust me that I can continue this and, like, commit to this?
Yeah. I mean, I've been...
Other than to show you.
Yeah,
And that takes time.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like, people can come up and say all they want. Like, if... There's been a lot of people I've forgiven for not even, like, drugs and alcohol, but, like, people who fucked me over that I'm just like, if you say sorry and then... I won't forgive you. Well, I'd rather forgive someone and then see if they do better. Because half of the thing, if someone's, like, coming to you and be like, I don't care if you're, like, your response, I just want to say I'm sorry. Like, it's easier to forgive someone that's fucked you over and be like, yeah, I forgive you, but I'm taking a step back and seeing if you're actually doing what you say.
I mean, yeah, but, like, I was going to try and tie that into this whole political thing. It's like, it's going to take time for, these things to change, and it's not like
Instant.
and
You'll probably
nobody's perfect. Nothing is perfect. The system is far from perfect, but things are starting to trend in a better direction, whether you want to see it or believe it or not. So yeah, we'll just kind of see how it plays out, really.
For the free speech thing, what is your opinion on like them going Wild West on Twitter?
I think it is hilarious.
I love Twitter now. I don't think it is fully free speech because
you have to
like there's been a lot of
you gotta think too, right? Like you can't.
I'll
let you finish your thought.
Yeah, I'm not talking like the horrendous calling for action shit, but I'm saying from like I've noticed there's a line you can go up to with free speech, but I feel like Elon Musk is a little bit of a hypocrite in some of the stances he takes, where I've seen him be all about like I'm an absolutist for free speech, but then I see him censor parts of the world when they are trying to give their opinions or something.
So
I just hate hypocrisy. That's the same why like I fucking hate Ben Shapiro after he was all about free speech, and then the moment Israel gets invaded, anyone that talks anything bad about Israel, even if you're bringing up valid points, absolutely shut down, fired from his company, whatever, which you have the right to do if it's your company, but it's also you're preaching one thing, and then when it comes into action, when it's something you don't like, you completely do a 180 on it.
Where like having power and money is a thing, but also what I'm gonna say is, yeah, you can say whatever you want, but that is not without consequence.
Yeah, you're not free. You can say
Not
whatever, but you
without
can still get
consequence. Like
rocked in the mouth.
Like you have to be prepared. Like if you have an absolutely fucking insane take on something, and it's liable to get you punched in the fucking mouth, get ready to be punched in the mouth if you're going to say that out loud.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and then, like, because I was going to talk about, like, you can't just have, like, these terrorist organizations and shit, you know, like pushing, you know, their, all this stuff online and, you know, grabbing some susceptible 16-year-old who doesn't fucking know any better, and all of a sudden he's in something way over his head and has placed a bomb on like a train in New York City. You know what I mean? Like it's like shit like that.
But it's more of like the opinion of the freedom of ideas, where you say like an absolute dog shit take, someone responds to it, you clash with the ideas and see if something comes out of it. Like that, like I don't want one side to be shut down because they have an opinion on this, which could be a valid opinion or whatever. Like,
and I agree in the, you know, that's the whole part of like the intolerance, right? Like it is okay to care about something enough that you are intolerant, right, of something else, right? It is okay to be intolerant, but there needs to be a certain level of understanding and a certain level of acceptance at the same time.
And an openness.
And openness on both sides. There have been many times, more often than not, where I'm fucking wrong, and I end up in like, oh, hey, you know what? Yeah, that makes sense. You're right.
Yeah.
Like, I was a dumbass. You know, like, you know, I don't know why I even thought about it. I never thought about it that way, you know? It's, but we are emotional creatures, and this is hypocritical.
You know it's going to be a good statement when he hits the pose.
we are emotional creatures, and a lot of our decisions and the things we say are derived from that. And the worst thing that you can fucking do is make an emotional decision. And I'm so guilty of that. You know, that's why I say it's like, it's hypocritical, but
everyone is.
The second something irks you, hurts your feelings, pushes your buttons, it is, all reason flies out the window. And that's where, like, and that's, you know, I get it.
I mean, we're emotional creatures, but we're also, our brain does not allow us to not have an irrational thought. Even if you have what people would understand as an irrational thought, you will rationalize it in your brain.
Yes. Yeah.
Which I was trying to explain that to my dad, which being like, everyone knows killing is wrong as a rational thought, correct? You kill someone, say in self-defense, that goes away with the irrational thought, and you rationalize it because it's self-defense.
Yeah, I mean, you could say the same thing with like war and stuff too. And it's always so funny. Not funny, but it is interesting to see that everyone, in the US back home, not on foreign soil and stuff, is always up in arms about every war that they know fuck all about. The whole thing with like Ukraine and Russia, yes, what Russia did is inherently wrong. Just like point blank period. Completely fucked up, wrong. Ukraine has the right to defend themselves. Why do I have a part in it?
Yeah. I feel like those conflicts should be settled between both countries, not two people cheering on both countries fighting.
And, like, America is just a big bully. We are in everything. Why does our president have to sit... Well, not why do they have to sit there and broker a peace deal between two countries, because a mediator is generally always needed for that kind of stuff. But we are not neutral.
Yeah.
We are not in any shape or form neutral in any of these conflicts. And so it's like, I don't even know what I'm trying to say here. I lost my point.
Why? You're more saying like, if I'm listening to it correctly, you're more saying like America does need to have their finger on the pulse of everything. Like, let Ukraine battle Russia. We don't give any help, or let...
Oh, yeah, 100%. We should not be involved.
Because, like, the thing is, if, in my opinion, if, like, a country can't defend itself and it gets taken over, this is a fucking hot take, but that sucks. Oh, well, like,
That's how it's been.
No, like, countries have...
Centuries.
Risen and fallen, and if another one comes over, takes it over. That's just bad luck. It sucks. Oh, well.
You think, like, Rome marching on literally anywhere, they were just like, oh, no, like, somebody broker this peace deal. No, like, no, dude, it's divide and conquer.
Yeah.
And
it's because we've become more of a society of, like, talking, and, like, everyone has these...
We're not barbaric. We are civilized.
We think
to an
we
extent.
are. I was about to say, we think we are. We still have caveman brains. Like, that has not evolved past the Homo sapiens. Like, we still have the same brains that were making stone tools out by the firelight. Like, we may think we're more advanced. Back us into a corner, you see the primal nature of humans come out. Like, that animal backed in the... We are animals. Like, that...
100%.
Yeah.
We're just intelligent.
Yeah, we have complex ways of thinking that has put us above a whole bunch of the other animals in nature.
The only thing that has separated us from every other animal is these guys right here.
And this.
Well, the brain, but being able to, like, make things, make tools.
Yeah. Being adaptive creatures.
Yeah.
We are highly fucking adaptive to any situation we go into. Like... That's why, like, the indomitable human spirit, like, no matter what happens, people 9 out of 10 times will likely survive in whatever scenario they're faced in, if pushed and able to adapt enough. I mean, look at, like, all the climates humans live on, like, extremely cold to extremely hot. We've learned ways to survive in that and adapt to those climates to take it over.
Sweating is probably the biggest evolutionary, like, trait that has allowed us to do things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because sweating is to cool your body down.
Yeah.
So, back in the day, like, if you're a really hairy, even now, it's like, if you're a really hairy guy, like, you are going to get hot fast. So when we were like hunting and stuff, and we were still evolving, and we were running and chasing down these animals, because we would just run them until they'd get so hot and tired that they couldn't go anywhere.
Or we'd run them off a cliff, back them off into that where they have to fall.
Yeah, you know, stuff like that. It's like, but like being able to sweat is what allowed us to do things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
Have you seen the like primitive survival YouTube channel where he is going through like the ages of history? He makes like a dub and wattle hut, then like starts making stone tools. I think he's on iron now, where he's like forging his own iron and making those tools and everything.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
Oh, dude, it is a fucking rabbit hole that is interesting to go down, of like him just going through the age of history, like building with the tools that are provided and doing all that shit. Like I've always found it fascinating of like people surviving in the wilderness, like the ones that are dropped with nothing and they have to survive and see if they do it. I know for a fact I couldn't do that, but I feel like I'd have a good chance if I have like at least fire and a bow.
Fire's the biggest thing.
Yeah. Even if you don't have a fire starter, just like the knowledge of friction and how to make fire.
Yeah. There are some like the ability to have like clean drinking water and to be able to feed yourself. Those two things will take you far. If you have those two things, and you know how to do those two things in just about any situation, you can survive. Water is the most important, though.
Yes. What's the rule? Like 2 days without water, 2 weeks without food.
It's 3.
3?
I'm pretty sure it's 3s.
I know it's the same
3 days, 3 weeks, 3 months.
3 minutes without air, 3 hours without shelter, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food.
Okay.
Yep.
So I'm wrong.
I didn't know the shelter. 3 hours without shelter?
Yeah, you got to think about it in like the aspect of like extreme conditions.
Yeah.
Like if it's super cold,
super hot,
raining.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. The shelter thing just baffled me because people being homeless for a while, seeing like they've been out there for months, but they also take shelter under bridges and shit like that. Yeah.
Something to keep you out of the elements. Because, I mean, think about it. If it rains for 3 weeks straight, dude, like, your body is going to get something nasty.
Oh, yeah. Ringworm, staph infection.
And you're going to die.
Trench foot.
Yeah, dude, yeah. Don't get me started on fucking trench foot.
Yeah, go off. Go off about trench foot.
No. No, I've almost had it. I was like borderline. And it fucks you up for months.
That was like a big thing in World War I and Vietnam War. Because I remember like, fucking terrible pool, but like from Forrest Gump when they were like going into Vietnam, he's like, change your socks every day.
There is one item of GI gear that can be the difference between a live grunt and a dead grunt. Socks. Cushion sole, OD green. Try and keep your feet dry. When we're out humping, I want you boys to remember to change your socks whenever we stop. Mekong will eat a grunt's feet right off his legs.
Yeah, not having an ability to air out and dry your feet and have like dry socks is a recipe for disaster.
Yeah.
And that's why I hate Louisiana so much.
I just hate, like, growing up down here, the longer I've been here, the more I've hated Charleston, and mostly hated Charleston weather-wise, not even going into, like, financially and anything. I just hate the fucking heat. Like,
I had to leave to learn to appreciate a lot of things about this place. Mm-hmm. But now I have new things that I can't fucking stand. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, there's a give and a take.
Yeah, it's just have gotten too fucking hot. It's too humid. Like, I'm good in spring, summer, winter. Like, that is, like, I can survive. I'm fine. The, like, 100 degrees summers and then throw humidity on it where, like, I don't even want to fucking step outside.
Yeah.
I absolutely despise it. and I just have to like grit my teeth for like any person that came in. It's like, oh my god, I like love the weather. It's so hot down here. It's so perfect. I love that about Charleston. I'm like, yeah, me too. I love it. Like, I've gotten to the point where I'm like, no, I fucking hate the weather here. It sucks. I want to leave so goddamn bad.
I mean, the weather's the weather, right? Like, you can't control that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Like,
I know. I was just thinking of the Lost episode.
Like, you can, and you can always move, but the weather changes constantly, and the likelihood is you may end up hating the weather where you move to, too.
I can deal with cold better than I can deal with hot. Because I don't mind bundling up when it gets cold, or like putting on thermal or putting on something if it gets too cold. I'm fine with looking like the kid from Christmas Story to be warm.
Yeah.
It gets to the point to be hot where to cool off, you have to remove so much clothing where it gets illegal, in my opinion.
You can't jump out of your skin, unfortunately.
You cannot walk around fucking butt naked.
You know what my tattoo artist told me the other day?
Huh.
There is a company out there, folks, that when you die, will skin you and, like, save your tattoos.
Interesting.
Yeah, they, like, it's, because I made a joke about that when she was on the back of my leg. I was like, I'm going to have somebody cryogenically freeze my fucking leg when I die. And she was like, actually, and I was like, that's kind of insane. Who thinks of that?
Capitalism. There's a one for people to be like, that was the thing, like when my passenger window got busted open by a weed whacker, like I freshly got this, and I immediately checked that before I checked if glass hit anyone else, because the rest of my body was free. This was $400 fucking dollars. I wanted to make sure this was fine.
The rest of your body was 9 months of pain for your mother.
It was free for me.
It was not free.
It was free for me. It's free real estate.
I remember when I got my first tattoo before I got it covered up. I got it the day I turned 18, and we had a rugby game.
I remember that.
That same weekend, and so I forget exactly how we did it, but we had it like saran wrapped and like taped, and it was the weekend of the Mud Bowl.
Yeah. The worst fucking game to play with a new tattoo.
First tackle, rips it right off, and I was like, fuck it, dude. Like,
yeah,
if it gets fucked up, it gets fucked up. Like, at this point, you know, all the cards have been drawn.
Yeah.
And I've placed mine face down to end my turn. Just gotta play it out.
I've been decent to like at least plan some of my tattoos where I get them in like the winter time when I know like, hey, I'm wearing long sleeves or like it's cold. I also don't really go to the beach, so I don't have to worry about a sunburn, even though my tattoo artist calls me sunburn because I have like a red hue normally. Where, like, the first 30 minutes of going to any tattoo appointment is her having to remember me being like, oh, yeah, you're the red fucker that is always red and never sunburned. I'm like, ma'am, I have been inside for the past week. I can promise you that. I've been editing videos or going to school. Like, I haven't been outside, and if I do, it's dark.
I like being outside. I get sunburned fast.
I do, too.
It's the Irish in me, dude. It sucks.
The only reason why I haven't really gone out as much is because I work weekends. Yeah. So whenever everyone else is free, I'm stuck in a factory working, and then my quote-unquote weekends are during the week when, like, no one wants to do anything till, like, after 5. Like, the only thing I do is, like, go to the gym. If I have school, I go to class, but that's usually an evening class. Or I'm just in my room playing video games and editing. Which is, like, so sad to say out loud, but it's also, like...
It's like what you do. It's your hobby.
Yeah. But, yeah, I haven't been to the beach and, like, sat out on the beach in years. This is also parking. Like, finding a parking spot.
Such a pain in the ass, dude. So much goes into getting out there.
Which I'm so glad I know Jack on Folly. Because I just park at his house, walk in, say hi to his family, and then go to the beach or go wherever.
Yeah. I know where he lives. I don't ever park there, though. I always park by Woody's.
I mean,
I don't tend to go down like to the actual beach unless I'm like gonna go surfing or something, because, like I said, I burn real easy. So if I'm out there to like try and get tan, like after an hour, I should go home because I'm gonna get like a 3rd-degree sunburn.
Yeah.
So
I think like the worst sunburn I had was when I passed out on the beach for a couple hours. Like my back was just I think it was in high school too. I think I knew.
Remember this?
Yeah, I knew you at the time. It's when I had like the Twin Peaks haircut when that was pulled all the way up. Yeah, I passed out on the beach just laying back up, and I woke up a couple hours later and
I think I like was like, hey, what's up, dude, and like hit your back and you freaked out.
everyone did. Everyone did. It was just like
I feel like I remember this.
there was people I wouldn't get mad at because they didn't know I had a sunburn, but my fucking friends who knew I had a sunburn would hit that shit.
Oh, I'd be fighting.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, I hate that so much. Fuck.
It's like the same people that's like, oh, new tattoo, gotta set it in, slaps the shit out of it. It's like, no, fuck you.
Dude, I'm so weird about my tattoos.
I try to protect them at all cost. Like I've never had that like Sanoderm thing that I see people put on. Like my artist never does that. It's just saran wrap and then.
No, dude, it's like I don't even know what it's called. It's essentially like, I don't know. It's like this gauze like thing. It's like it's big. They just wrap it around with some medical tape. Not medical tape. It's just some fucking
Holy City.
I don't know what to call it. Yeah, Holy
Yeah,
City.
it's gauze along with just tape around it. That's what they do.
Yeah, and like I like that. Super simple, super easy. 2.5, 3 hours later, just comes right off, and then I can hop in the shower.
Yeah. And then I know the tattoos my sister got. They always put the like Sanoderm patch on it, which is like the second skin thing where it's
That
just like
because
I would hate pulling it off. That is the only reason.
you're supposed to do it in the shower,
Like
underwater, like warm water. Is how you're supposed to take it off. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. But a lot of people just don't do that.
People don't do the instructions?
Yeah.
Shocking. Wow.
Yeah. Either because, they don't know any better, or
They think they know better.
yeah, they think they know better.
That is the only two outcomes of why people don't.
They're like, oh, well, it's already kind of flaking off a little bit. Like, I don't need to run it underwater. Yeah, you're in for a wild ride, buddy.
Yeah. What do you think of the people who take like the numbing cream before a tattoo? Because I've heard like mixed.
I thought about it for this leg sleeve several times. The knee was that bad for me that I thought about running out and buying numbing cream for like any part of the next part of my leg. But the back of my leg, behind my knee, and like my quad was actually fine. Or my hamstring was fine.
I haven't had like calf tattoo yet. I've wanted one.
It hurts.
Yeah. But like the thigh tattoo wasn't that bad until they got to like the crotch region. Like that's the only part that hurt is like once it got like farther up around here.
You gotta think though, that's where like a bunch of nerves and shit are. Yeah. Your calf, I have both of mine done, right? And I got them done 5 years ago. My left calf was hurt way worse because my artist who did that one was like super heavy-handed, and he just pulls you just doing whatever, and just like fucking really pushing down like into your shit. And my artist who's doing my right leg, who had also done my calf 5 years ago, going to her 6 months after I got my left one done, I fell asleep. Yeah, like it was like super easy. So it really just depends on like who you get.
It was Brittany, right?
Yeah, Brittany's my girl.
Yeah. Me, you, and Bryce all go to Brittany.
She's great,
dude. I cannot speak as highly as I do from her. Like I'm wanting to get a Bulbasaur tattoo, like Celtic Knot Bulbasaur. I want her to do it.
That'd be cool. She'd like that a lot.
Yeah. Like, this whole arm is going to be Celtic knots of shit I like. So like I want Bulbasaur. I want like a D20 for Dungeons and Dragons. I already got the Assassin's Creed. I want to do the Witcher, Head of the Wolf, but I haven't found like a good way to Celtic knot that. Because that's a hard.
That's what she's for.
Yeah, like there's one of them that I would love to have a Celtic knot, but I might have to break my rule. I love the movie Treasure Planet so much. It was my favorite Disney.
Such a good movie.
It was my favorite movie growing up.
Now, you listen to me, James Hawkins. You got the makings of greatness in you, but you gotta take the helm and chart your own course. Stick to it, no matter the squalls. And when the time comes, you get the chance to really test the cut of your sails and show what you're made of. Well, I hope I'm there, catching some of the light coming off you that day.
Where I want like the Treasure Planet tattoo.
Yeah.
But I don't know what I want yet. I don't know if I want the ball. I don't know if I want like the moon with the ship. Like that is such an iconic scene with like the Crescent City and the spaceship going out. But I haven't figured it out yet.
Chat. How to tell a lot about somebody, especially on like a first date, is to ask them their favorite Disney movie.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever I say Treasure Planet, and they're like, "Oh, that is such a good movie," I'm like, "Yeah."
It's so slept on. Like the animation was so good. It was only Treasure Planet, Atlantis, and I think what was it? It was the Egyptian one too. If I remember the.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
But yeah. Yeah, no, that would be cool though. So like the thing, because Brittany and I were actually, I just did the back of my leg, and I have another session on the 3rd. We were talking about is that I like lack inspiration. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I could be creative, but I lack inspiration, and that's like where like practicing being inspired is really hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, because I was telling her, because I have my rugby tattoo on my left calf. It's that rugby ball and the Polynesian style, and I was like, I don't know, like what I would do for this. She's like, I could think of at least like 10 different things that we could do with your whole leg, and like still, and like like that doesn't ruin like any sort of theme. And I was like, okay. She's like, yeah, you just don't, you're not like, that's what I'm here for, So as far as like not figuring out how to like Celtic knot it, like just bring that idea to her and she'll run.
Because I have the Bulbasaur one, but I pulled it from like a guy on TikTok who did it, and I'm very big into like not stealing artwork. Like when I brought Brittany like stuff in the past, I'm like, I like this.
Well, that's the whole thing too. That's like so great about Holy City is if you're doing like a big piece, they will make it original, and they will also just trace the fucking lines. Like if you just wanted something like ditzy and cute, they're like, you and your sister or whatever are gonna get matching tattoos. Like they will also do that.
Yeah.
Right. But like the biggest thing is like they will try and make it unique to you.
Yeah.
And that's why.
Like the one on my thigh was like a picture I found, but I worked with Brittany with it, where like the main points were the frog, the banjo, and the skull, and we just worked on like the grass and the outline of that stuff. And she was saying like, I forget, did she have the frog butt in it? Yeah, no, she took away the frog butt because there was like a big one back there, and she made the banjo bigger and like moved it down a little bit. It like,
yeah, because so I have Odin on the back of my leg now, right? And at first it was gonna be kind of like a side-on Odin, and it was like super sick, and like that was like the original idea. That's what I've been thinking I was gonna get for the last 6 fucking months.
Yeah.
And I get there, she's like, okay, so I drew like a frontal like face Odin, and I told her to. And this is what I like to do with my sleeves is I'm just like, hey, this is just essentially what I want. Everything else is up to you, right? Like this is the style, like this is kind of like how I want it to look. What goes in it, colors, XYZ, that's up to you.
Yeah.
And it's very fun for me, and it's a lot of fun for them too.
Because you let artists be artists.
Yeah, that's the thing. I let them just be them. And obviously, you know, they run things by you, right?
Mhm.
They're like, hey, I think we should do this. I think it would look super great, and like, this is why. Every time I say yes, you know, I never say no.
Like-
I have not said no yet.
Like, I was iffy on, like, I never wanted color on any of my tattoos because I was like, color will fade, whatever. Then Brittany brought up the, like, just, hey, we should just do, like, a green on, like, the frog and the plants just to, like, make that pop a little bit. I was like, never thought about that. I was just going to have it completely grayscaled, and it looks so much better with the color.
Yeah. So, my calf tattoo, you know, the ravens with the kill knot and everything. It was originally just going to be like black and gray, and she was like, "Hey, what do you think about color?" I was like, "I mean, you know, talk to me." Obviously, I'm not opposed to color because I have this dog shit tattoo on my forearm. You know, from the day I turned 18, that's got colors in it. But I was like, you know, like, what do you think? And she's like, well, the ravens don't like fully, you know, cover up like the circle. There's like kind of 3 blank spots. And I was like, all right. And she was like, I'm thinking red. I was like, send it. And it looks so much better. It was so cool.
Yeah, they've earned a lot of my trust. Where the Charleston tattoo I was going to get when I leave, which is that giant geometric, like Folly Beach Pier with the sunsets. Like, I want that to be color. I was shopping around like tattoo places where I was thinking like Broken Lantern, Blue Gorilla, the places where I see a lot of color.
Blue Gorilla is so shit. Stay away from that shop.
I've heard.
I hate that fucking place so much.
Really?
That's where I got my first tattoo.
Oh. Yeah, that's where I was thinking, but like, just Holy City being like right down the road, and also like just how many people I talk to have gone to Holy City and like have gotten color from it, and seeing like the posts they make of like,
I mean, you know, there's my fucking arm.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I don't know if they can really see this well, or if they'll be able to. This is like 5 years old.
Yeah.
You know. And it's my whole arm. I got a whole fucking dragon and everything. So.
So I'll probably only get. The only tattoo I didn't get from Holy City was my rugby one, and that was done by Mikey.
That's like an easy one.
Yeah.
Know, anybody could do that.
It was like once I turned 18, like I dyed my hair and got a tattoo.
Yeah, it's like tattoos like that. You could go to anybody.
Yeah, I've thought about if I wanted to add on to it because like everyone that sees is like, okay, what's up with H? And I'm just like, it's a rugby tattoo. It's the goalpost. Like, I hate I have to explain it, but also...
Rugby is life.
Yeah, that's how it is. That's how I was in high school. Like, I was all about fucking rugby.
Yeah, me too, man.
Even, like, going back, it's so weird coaching the high school team. Like, I'm helping out with forwards. I'm training up the hookers again. But... my dad has asked me to like come and help a few times where I was like reluctant because in my mind it was like a peaked in high school move.
Yeah.
Of like I was captain, I was president of the team. I'm coming back when I'm like 26, being like, hey, I'm coaching my old high school team. It was more of my mindset of just being like, I feel like I peaked in high school if I do this move. Other than like, I enjoy the sport a lot. And I've enjoyed coaching, but it's so fucking weird. I feel so goddamn old when they talk to me.
I'm thinking about playing again.
I've wanted to play. I just haven't had time.
I'm thinking about playing again for real.
Do it.
There's like a D3 beer league up at base, and I was like, yeah, I don't drink. I'm like, that doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
Like, you know. And then he was like, what position do you play? I was like, oh, I was fullback, you know. And then I got hurt and kind of lost like the fitness to be able to play a full game, so I was inside, outside, center, and wing. And then he was like, can you kick? I was like, yeah, with both feet. And he was like, bro, we need a kicker. Like, we need somebody to, like, because it's me. And he's like this big fucking dude, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I can fill that role for sure. Yeah. So their spring training starts up in January.
Fuck yeah, dude. No, I was wanting to start once I moved away because I'm hoping I'll have like the normal schedule where I can play on Saturdays and go to practice like during the week. And I just haven't been able to, which is unfortunate because I miss it so much. Yeah. Like it's coaching has made me want to play a lot more. Because I'm like, I'm teaching you all this. I can't play or tackle. I'm getting them fucking good at rucks. Because you know how fucking deadly I was in rucks or like lock that shit down.
The sad thing about the team in our day is we finally got a good set of players. Like you, me, Nigel, Jake,
Seth.
Jordan Robinson,
Seth.
Seth, and we could never quite field. Like some of the kids just like did not have that aggression. And like we were like just like missing that. Like I remember several times because I'm fullback, so I see everything.
Mm-hmm.
Right off the rip, Wando just runs through everyone, and they're all fucking standing there, and I'm like, why am I making a tackle in the first 10 seconds of the fucking game?
Yeah, it's also like James Allen had a lot of commitment issues where we would have like 25 people on the team, but you'd see like 10 at practice, and then
we only ever had 15 at the games.
Yeah.
And that was a struggle. I remember one year we played 14 against 15.
Yep.
Quite a few times we played under because we just didn't have the people. I'm like, well, you can either forfeit or we can play the fucking game. I'm like, well, we're gonna play.
Yeah. I was so upset my senior year because like I finally got off of the collarbone injury, and I was looking to play fucking BE because I was talking so much shit to Bulldog and his brother. Because like I blew the brother out on the ruck so much. He's like a big jack, like black guy, and like I knock
out your stance, dude.
Yeah, and like I knock him back like that. He like gets up. He's like, okay, I'll see you at the game. Then like the game comes, and I come walking up to him with the full fucking wrist cast on. I'm like, my bad.
Bro, you and me had the same thing happen. I broke my collarbone junior year.
Dude, it's the collarbone curse.
And then I broke my hand senior year.
Yeah. I feel like the hand was a lot worse for me than the collarbone. Because, like, the collarbone, I was stuck, and I was like, okay, I can't play.
Because with this, it's like, I have the possibility to play.
It's like, I can cut this off right now and suffer the consequences and still play.
Wrap me up, coach. Like, I eventually, after my initial break, because it happened in the first game, so there was still hope.
Yeah.
And I remember crying in the doctor's office when they're like, it's still broken, we gotta cast you back up again. And I was like, it is my senior year. Is there any way that I can play?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to miss this. And they came back with like the sickest fucking like athletic brace. Like don't get me wrong, hand still fucking broken.
Yeah.
I just wore it like 100% of the time.
I have a hard time like writing for long times.
I can't play the guitar. Or I can't play certain chords or certain songs for a long period of time.
Because what did you break? Like, your radius and ulna, or was it?
No, dude. It was straight up like my hand. It was like down here in my thumb.
Oh, is it carpal also?
Yeah. So like it took forever.
I know. I broke my scaphoid, which is like the little like metatarsal. That was like tarsal. Wait.
Yeah.
I was trying to think. Yeah. So I thought I was fine for the longest time because like all the X-rays and everything showed like full intact bone, full everything until like the pencil grip test, which is like you take an X-ray and you squeeze the pencil, which pulls the muscles down this way and pulls those muscles that way. And then doing that, you see the little fracture like right at the end of it. Where like Jordan was the one that broke my wrist because I outran him. Went to go put the ball down and he like pushed me over and I braced like that.
Dude, Jordan Robinson, if you're listening to this, I've never seen anybody run the way that kid does. And I still say to this day, like, he floats, dude.
Mm-hmm.
He does not run. He fucking floats. I don't know how else to describe it. Like, if you see it, it all of a sudden makes
He also
sense.
hits like a fucking train.
Yeah, he was fast. Yeah, because he played football, didn't he?
Yeah, he played football. I think he might have wrestled, but like his biggest problem was his anger. Like the moment he got mad, it was.
Oh, bro, he
over.
got ejected from a fucking game one time, and I was like, dude.
It's not hard to not talk back to the ref. Like I should be insanely pissed off, but at the end of the day, like I know if I talk shit to that one guy on the field, I'm gone.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I get it. It's like hard to bite your fucking tongue against the ref, but you know what? Take it out on some poor fucker on the other team.
The only ref that
straight up.
The only ref that I've like actually almost cursed out was like the UNCW ref, because he was an old.
The bald
No,
fucker?
no. This was up at when I played for Coastal.
Oh.
It was a ref that would only ref UNCW games. He was their home ref. He's an alumni of the college.
That's not okay.
We've complained about him for fucking years. Whenever I was high school helping out the Citadel when I would go on games, he would consistently fucking do this all the time. When we were up at Coastal, we were playing against them. Mingo was running down the sidelines. Their crowd was trying to pull Mingo out of bounds. Nothing from the ref. There's a whole bunch of, like, the ref would get in the way while we were passing. The ref would make terrible fucking calls. He would let the game clock go on longer than what it actually is to allow UNCW to score and win. He was a complete fucking shitbag.
You win, though?
No.
Oh.
No. We fucking lost because we were tied up, and then he let the game go until they scored. We had the timer going. We've complained about him for years. We've reported him for years. There's no other ref in that area. And I doubt he is listening, but you belong in hell.
All I'm saying is situations like that is how people end up dead.
Italians.
You know what I mean?
I mean, you know what happens with Italians and people that they have a problem with.
And healthcare officials.
Some things get done. Some things need to get done, might not be getting done.
Yeah.
Take a long walk off a short pier. Dude, I love fucking, like, Italian threats. Like, I got some nice shoes for you.
Yeah, dude, I definitely miss rugby, though. I've been, like, I want to get back into something.
I've been debating on, like, going down for the St. Patrick's Day tournament. I have not played in years. I would fucking die, but I'm just like...
I mean, I would die, too, but it's also beer league, so, like, is anybody really that fit?
No. No, beer leagues are just for fun.
Yeah.
Like, I would love to play for the Outlaws, but they are so competitive, where I know I will not have the, like, dedication to be as competitive as they are. It's like more power for them. Do what you love. Set up your league. I hope the Outlaws go Major League with, like, how they have everything set up, because I would love to see a Major League Rugby team in Charleston. Just like the closest one's Atlanta, and there's a lot of teams in Major League Rugby that's just been up and down. Like, it was good for like the first 4 years, and then some teams are dwindling.
You know, the NHL just got a new team, too. I forget exactly where they're based out of. They don't even have a fucking name, but they do have a flag. Like, because, you know, in, like, the ranks and everything, like, they have the flags of, like, the teams. Like, at the top. And there's a new flag. I forget where they're at, but it's just, like, it's cool to see things like that happen.
Mm-hmm. Charleston's getting...
That'd be cool for here.
I think an arena football team is what... if David was telling me correctly, like, they're making, like, not XFL, but like something similar to XFL down here.
Yeah.
So I have no clue. Like he was saying, I have no clue where the fuck they're gonna put a stadium, because there's not really places to build besides like Somerville and up.
That's where it's gonna have to be. I mean, whatever. I literally, like, drive an hour to go see, like, hockey games and, like, stuff like that. It's the same thing here. It just looks different.
Yeah. But it's also we're on the coast. We don't really have, like, good dirt. No. Like, you can't really build deep into the ground down here.
No, you can't. There's a lot of things you can't do around here. But, I mean, also, like, I'm sure they could find a spot in North Charleston, too.
Probably.
It just really depends.
It really depends on, like, the real estate of the area, because there's a lot of development happening.
Bro, way out deep, like, past Mount Pleasant, like, towards, like, Georgetown or Myrtle Beach. Mm-hmm. That's where they could fucking put it.
And is it, like, Wadmalaw? Is that the area? I know where you're talking about. I just forget the name of it. It's like, I would drive up to Coastal all the time. It'd be like, there's that one gas station, I think Santee gas station, like, everyone stops at. It's, like, right around that area. Because I think, isn't Twin Pines out in that? Or Twin Ponds?
I don't know. All I know is that it's past home team and on the way to Myrtle Beach.
Okay.
And you have to go through Georgetown. to get to Myrtle Beach. So
fucking Georgetown. Do not speed in that city.
I don't ever really go up that way a lot, so it's not like I'm well versed in that area.
I used to. After I dropped out of Coastal, I would like go up the next 2 years for like the alumni game or like to go visit friends. Like as I got older, I'm like, I don't think I should go visit Myrtle. Because like all my friends have moved out, and like the only thing to go where my friends from college still are is like the local college bars, and I'm not going to local college bars.
Oh, dude, it's dangerous. Oh, so I have a buddy who, from the rooms back up in near base, right? Because he's from that area, enlisted in the Navy, and he's actually here for his school. So I like took him to home team for his first meal, like downtown. Showed him like around a little bit. Took him to a meeting. Showed him one of the meetings that I like to go to down here. And the first thing I did was like, tell him to warn his, buddies. I'm like, hey man, like, there's a lot of, bars and shit around here, but you gotta understand too, this is a fucking college town, and it is a dangerous game to play.
Yep.
Like, it is a dangerous game to play.
I went up to the dive bar right by the Joint base. Dude, it is so fun to people watch there, because it's a whole bunch of like Navy guys who have never drank before, and they can walk back to their barracks.
Yeah.
It is nukes. It is like heavily autistic, smart people that have alcohol. Like there was a group off to the side that like were sharing an AirPod. Like one had one side, one had the other, and they're singing to each other. People were playing pool back there. One guy was just drunk talking to us. Like all amazing people to talk to. But it's funny as shit just to like people watch and see that.
Yeah, see, that's like the shit that I hate. Like I like to stay away from. I remember one of my first times back here. Actually, I was downtown. We were at El Jefe. It was like me, Logan, and somebody else, and we were sitting there and like, drinking and just like eating like chips and salsa. And this fucking guy comes up to me. He's like, "Hey man, are you in the Army?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Yeah, man, I just got out. I was a Ranger." I was like, I don't give a fuck. Like, dude, what do you want me to get on my fucking knees and start sucking your dick right here in the middle of the bar? Like, I don't care.
Yeah.
And also, I'm pretty sure he was fucking lying, because dudes like that don't tend to
say what they do.
Yeah, I mean, like, they will, but they don't, like,
openly
try and
brag.
Big dick you like that.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No. It's more of a brag thing than.
Yeah, and it's like, you're out now. Like, you're not that. Like, so who cares? Because you know what? Like, and this was...
You should have had him compare DD-214s.
I should have. I mean, he looked like he had just gotten out, or like was in, or was still in. But, and I was like a fucking private. This was years ago, but it's like, okay, right, I go and be a Green Beret. Cool, but in 5 years, I'm out of the Army. Like, who cares? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, none of that matters. Because now, like, one, I'm not a Green Beret or a Ranger or whatever the fuck. And two, like, that's okay. Yeah. What life skills do you have on like a job resume? Oh, Green Beret in the Army. Like, and you're going in for like
accounting.
I don't know, accounting job. Yeah, it's like
I can kill people.
Yeah, okay, like, so. I mean, I get it. Like, no, and I'm not like trying to take away from like anybody in that aspect, but it's just like, at the end of the day, while those things are super cool and super badass, like, at some point it just doesn't matter anymore.
It's like, what would you do outside of the military? Is more question towards your end of that career.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of those dudes retire or like get medically retired.
Sit on the pension, or I see a lot of like vets making like vet-owned businesses.
Well, that too, and it's also like, I mean, I see it extremely, like, going to be like a Green Beret and stuff. I see not a lot of longevity in that career path, because you are doing the most. Like, you are literally doing the most. Like, you are on every op like shit that you're not allowed to tell people about, like doing crazy shit, being put up in fucked up situations, and your body is just taking a worse beating than, you know, like dudes in the conventional army. Like, I don't see a lot of longevity in that career path. I see, like, me blowing out both my knees and my fucking back at the same time and getting medically retired and being fucked up for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
Or dying. Which, you know, back in the day I didn't really care about. But now I kind of have, like, goals and things I want to, like, live for. And it's just like, yeah.
We can't
doesn't really interest me too much to die for my country.
Yeah. Yeah, it's completely understood. I'm about ready to wrap up. It's been a good bit.
Sounds good to me.
You have any parting words for the barflies or the people?
Thanks for having me. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. A couple days late. And
at the time of recording, this will probably be out in like February.
Guys, I'm going to challenge you because this is something my dad said to me. Stop trying to be so judgmental and just try and live in the moment and appreciate the things as they come. That is my New Year's resolution. So I challenge all of you listening to try and do that, and you'll be happier for it. Thank you.
Thank you for watching. Normal YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, share, comment, bullshit.
Demonetize.
Yeah, probably. Also, buy my t-shirts. I say that every episode. Fucking buy my t-shirts. I have a whole merch store. I've had it for a while.
Oh, dude, I gotta buy something.
They're decent. I have some designs I'm working on currently. I just have to flesh out the designs, but all the ones are good so far. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and have a good one.